At Jiangcheng Second High School in grade 12, class 5, a line of text stood out on the blackboard one day until the college entrance exam beside it was a heartfelt reminder. The college entrance exam is approaching 20 years of arduous study, all for this very day. The homeroom teacher Chen Fan still had many things to carefully remind them of his solemn voice, beating in rhythm with every student's heart for the liberal arts exam check. If all your tools are prepared when you get home tonight for the martial arts exam, you need to prepare your combat uniform and weaponry. He then glanced towards the student sitting at the back of the class, as if implying something. The teacher emphasized one last time: the martial arts college entrance exam carries a risk of death. Those with awakened abilities lower than D rank are not recommended to choose the martial arts department exam. At the last desk, Xu Jingming rested his chin on his hand with a bored expression. Is he reminding me again? He thought. However, at that very moment his story officially began. I, Xu Jingming, have transmigrated. A magical scene appeared in his mind. This world is called Blue Star, and its level of science and technology is almost the same as in my previous life. The level of technological development is nearly the same as my previous life, but terrifying and bloodthirsty beasts exist here. Like a giant ape with jagged teeth, its two sharp fangs gleaming in the dark, or a rock monster with a colossal body whose every step made the ground tremble. There was also a turtle-like creature, its disgusting mouth gaping open, its blood-red eyes looking as if they wanted to devour its prey. But this world doesn't only have monsters alongside them, are humans with extraordinary powers and awakened ability users who can fight against the fierce beasts. Their abilities are incredibly diverse, their bright eyes brimming with vitality because high-level ability power surges through their bloodlines, making them strong enough to fight the fierce beasts. In the vast galaxy, Jingming stood on an ancient magic circle surrounded by countless glowing elemental rings. Everyone can awaken their ability at the age of 16, and there are thousands, even hundreds of thousands of different types of abilities. And their power is also categorized by rank. The quality of abilities has a wide gap according to Blue Star's evaluation system. They are divided into 9 ranks. The vast majority of people awaken abilities from F rank to D rank. At that moment, a colossal bolt of lightning descended from the sky, tearing space asunder like an omen of the power Jingming was about to possess. My ability is. The lightning dissipated, leaving only crackling residual electricity at his fingertips. Jingming's face stiffened, looking both dangerous and helpless. E-rank weak electricity, its power is about the same as a static shock. While he was lost in thought, someone suddenly slammed a hand on his desk. Xu Jingming, Teacher Chen has already gone this far. Don't tell me you're still planning to take the martial arts exam. Huang Tian lowered his head, making it easier for his sarcastic words to come out an E-rank piece of trash, like you will only embarrass the school by going. You might as well just obediently choose the liberal arts department later on. You can come to my family's company and work as a minor clerk. You'll barely be able to make a living. Just then, Qingyao pointedly rebuked him. Huang Tian, you should mind your own business. Her resolute attitude made Huang Tian's expression darken. He narrowed his eyes, his voice low and threatening. Lin Qingyao, I will show you who is truly the most outstanding in the college entrance exam. Leaving behind his cold words, Huang Tian walked away arrogantly, not forgetting to imply before he left that this pretty boy, Xu Jingming, could only die in the competition arena. After Huang Tian left, Qingyao hurriedly tried to console him. Xu Jingming, don't mind his words. Everyone has their own value. Changing your application to the liberal arts department and living a normal life in the city. Wouldn't that be good, too? He glanced at the form in his hand in the Great Xia Kingdom. Where I live, the education system is divided into 2 tracks, liberal arts and martial arts with a low-rank ability. One probably lacks confidence in combat, so they can choose the liberal arts exam to become an ordinary person. The Great Xia College entrance exam registration form was filled out with his information: name Xu Jingming, gender, male, age 18, ability rank, E-type elemental subject. Registration, liberal arts or martial arts. Images of all kinds of different fierce beasts vividly appeared in Jingming's mind, and those who choose the martial arts subject must go to a designated location for the exam to fight a life-or-death battle with the beasts. Following that are the heroes of various ranks only. After meeting the standard, can one enter an ability user university. After several years of training under mentors, they can break through the unranked state and become a ranked ability user with great power. The more he thought, the more troubled Jingming became. He closed his eyes and sighed with frustration. The teacher and Lin Qingyao are worried that something unexpected will happen to me in the martial arts exam. But in this world full of dangers, even if I avoid the exam with its high mortality rate, I can't escape the fierce beasts that could invade at any moment. The terrifying memories from his childhood were still deeply ingrained in Jingming's mind. The thick metallic smell of blood was as vivid as if it were yesterday. My parents in this world died during a beast tide. As his eyes slowly opened, Jingming's resolve hardened. I don't want to face this again in the future, completely powerless to fight back. Finally, he stared intently at the registration form and declared resolutely, I will still choose the martial arts exam. Time flew by. The sky was already painted with the colors of dusk and the lights in Jingming's apartment were lit. As long as there was time, Jingming would train relentlessly with unwavering determination. His hand gripped the weapon tightly as tiny arcs of lightning sparked and crackled violently. He swung the long spear with decisive movements, filled with a hardened will. Each sweep, each thrust, left a streak of light cutting through space, the electric arc shooting out as if to tear the darkness asunder. After unleashing a final move, Jingming panted heavily, his shoulders trembling, then his expression slowly relaxed. I'm exhausted. Having said that, he collapsed onto the training floor, lying spread-eagled, his back drenched in sweat. I can't train anymore. Jingming placed a hand on his forehead, glancing at the weapon lying next to him. Ever since awakening my ability, I chose to use a long spear as my weapon. I've trained for over 2 years, but my proficiency is still at the beginner level. However, the lightning-swift wind-strike spear technique, which I spent 300,000 to buy, can be considered something that makes me a bit stronger than other E-rank awakeners. He held his hand up in front of his face, his 5 fingers unconsciously fanned out as if he were silently calculating, but the death rate for low-ranked students in the martial arts exam is higher this year than last. That thought made him shudder slightly, but then his hand abruptly clenched into a fist with great determination. I want to get into an ability user university. I absolutely have to fight for it, even if it means risking my life. In that very instant, a blue system panel gradually materialized in Jingming's field of vision. The displayed text flashed continuously, system activating. The scene left him speechless with shock. Sweat trickled down his forehead, his heart beating erratically. Right after a series of glowing characters appeared, system activation successful. Would you like to receive the novice gift pack? Jingming bolted upright, his eyes gleaming. Could this be the Transmigrator's golden finger system? Jingming was already filled with excitement and anticipation. I wonder what's in the gift pack. The system quickly replied, the gift pack contains 1 S-rank ability core and 200 ability points. In that instant, Jingming's entire body shook. The image of a faceless man, a wielder of ultimate power, involuntarily flashed in his mind. Jingming clenched his jaw, his mind racing with calculations. An S-rank ability, even in a great nation like the Xia Kingdom. It takes 3 to 4 years for just one to awaken. Once one appears, they are snatched up by the top ability user universities, given countless resources and even groomed to become a top-tier powerhouse. Without a second's hesitation, Jingming decisively reached into the virtual inventory. Does an E-rank piece of trash like me really have a chance to defy the heavens and change my fate? The moment his hand made contact, streaks of light shot out like electric sparks. Jingming clenched his fist and gritted out the word receive. Instantly, a series of system panels filled his vision. Successfully received novice gift pack. 200 ability points have been credited to your account, now bestowing S-rank ability Purple Firmament Divine Thunder. At the same time, Jingming's heart pounded violently as if an immense force was compressing his chest, making it swell to the point of bursting. The progress bar was only at 10%, but the pain was already so excruciating it made his face twist and his teeth grind together. Progress reached 20%. His whole body was enveloped in a membrane of energy as bursts of lightning erupted outward, shaking the entire room. When the process was pushed to 30%, the mounting internal pressure caused the window glass to explode, showering fragments outwards. Outside on the street, an innocent child saw the thick white smoke billowing and excitedly tugged on his mother's clothes. Mommy, what's happening to that big brother's house? A young man immediately made a phone call to inform someone something is happening with the Shu family's kid. Call the fire department quick. The progress bar now read 50%, 60%, meaning the pressure building inside Jingming's body was growing increasingly horrific. He let out a roar, his body shaking violently, drenched in sweat. It's so painful. The number had now risen to 70%. The process of changing his fate also caused a strange phenomenon that many civilians witnessed firsthand. Why did the sky suddenly turn so dark? Above the building, a gray thunder dragon suddenly materialized, its body thousands of jang, long twisting and coiling as lightning bolts shot from its scales, rending the heavens. Yet Fong, standing by the window to observe the whole scene, also felt a shiver. The lightning is truly terrifying. It seems I've felt some kind of immense pressure. Could it be that a powerful lightning attribute aggressor is trying to invade this place? As soon as he sensed the earth-shattering aura, he immediately ordered his subordinate. The 3rd Legion of Jiangtan City has entered a state of high alert. The subordinate heard the command and replied firmly, "Understood." In the gloomy sky, the figure of a giant thunder dragon coiled through the city's dark heavens, with vortexes of lightning gathering around it. Its eyes blazed brightly and its mouth gaped open, shooting a beam of energy straight down. That frenzied stream of power pierced through the clouds, tore through the night, and struck directly down upon Kan Min's apartment. Inside the room, the progress bar slowly reached 80%. Kan Min tensed up his body, trembling violently as if it were about to explode. Frantic bolts of lightning tore at his flesh, the pain akin to being shredded from the inside out by countless electric blades. 90%, 99%, and finally 100%. A burst of light erupted, engulfing the entire room. The system panel displayed lines of glowing text ability metamorphosis complete. All the berserk energy suddenly converged, leaving behind a breathtaking silence. Kan Min's hand slowly clenched, and as his fingers closed, a streak of silver-purple lightning shot out. He could feel that he had become much stronger. This was an S-rank ability, the Divine Purple Sky Thunder. It was completely different from his previous taser-like ability. A single hit would be enough to completely crush a person. Then he instinctively held his head and gave a wry smile. The commotion was a little too big. Luckily, I managed to control it a bit, otherwise it wouldn't have just been the training room that met with disaster. If I had known, I would have trained outside. Next, Kan Min fiddled with the system panel. "All right, the starter pack gave me 200 ability points. What are these for?" A series of information was displayed. Ability points can be obtained by killing fierce beasts. Consuming ability points can upgrade your rank and skills. You can check your ability points and choose upgrades in the system's control panel. After understanding the rules, he became excited. I like this kind of simple and direct cheat. Open system control panel. His power information had been updated. Name Kan Min. Rank awakened unranked. Ability Divine Purple Sky. Thunder S rank. Physique 12 Vitality Spirit 140 Hex Skills. Basic Spearmanship Lightning Gale Break Basic. Ability points 200. Without a moment's hesitation, he pointed decisively. "The college entrance exam is tomorrow. I need to use these 200 ability points where it counts the most to upgrade my combat power. System add the points for me." Kan Min's index finger lightly touched the system screen. In essence, abilities are derived from human physical and spiritual power, so I'll enhance the 2 major base attributes first. Immediately after, the 2 major base attributes began to fluctuate and the stats soared instantly. Following that, a massive enhancement effect erupted like a tsunami of energy radiating from his body. Kan Min's face showed clear astonishment and surprise. So this is what it feels like for my vitality and mind to level up. His muscles tensed, and his mind became unusually clear, as if a whole new world had just opened up to him. Kan Min suddenly clenched his fist and took a step back to gain momentum, his compressed aura gathering like a whirlwind. Lightning coiled around his arm as he threw a punch into the air, carrying astonishing power and releasing a fierce discharge of electricity. He was extremely satisfied with his current strength. After upgrading his base attributes, both using combat techniques and manipulating his ability would receive a corresponding boost. The system panel in front of him displayed the information, Vitality plus Spirit 160 Hec plus. Kan Min pondered deeply. The 2 major base attributes each increased by 20 points, which means 1 ability point corresponds to 0.2 Vitality or 0.2 Hec. Afterward, Kan Min's confidence surged. With my current strength, getting into an ability user university is a sure thing. I just don't know where I'll rank among the 700,000 candidates in Jiangnan province, or how I compare to those geniuses who have been taught by famous masters since childhood. He deftly hooked the spear shaft with his foot and kicked it high into the air. As soon as he caught it, he swung it a few times to warm up. I'll know the exact numbers after I go test them at the martial arts gym. Just then, the apartment door was kicked wide open. Kan Min was momentarily stunned to see a rescue team rushing in. Mingzi explained with a worried look. "We received an emergency call saying there was a fire here." He, however, calmly explained the situation. "It was probably caused by the tribulation from my ability cultivation. Everything is fine now." They all breathed a sigh of relief. "So that's what it was. The emergency is resolved. Pack it up, team." Before leaving, Mingzi turned his head back and remarked, "To cause such a huge commotion, and it was just a student cultivating his ability. The younger generation is truly formidable. Below the building, the fire truck was preparing to leave while residents were still gathered on the spot. Seeing him appear calmly, Duong Min anxiously asked about the situation. "Little Min, are you okay from the fire just now?" "I'm fine, Uncle Duong. It's under control." "It's good that you're okay. Looking at you, are you heading to the martial arts gym?" "Yes, going to the gym to practice." "So diligent, still training, even though the college entrance exam is tomorrow." "Not like that brat of mine." Because for an awakened to advance to an ability user, they must train their physical and spiritual power and upgrade their abilities' might. Thus, martial arts gyms that provide training grounds and instructional services came into being, as not every family can afford a private training room. At this moment, Kan Min stood proudly before a large building. The two most famous martial arts gyms in the Daxia nation were Leiting and Baoxiong. Among them, the Baoxiong gym, with an annual fee of 100,000, was suitable for students from well-off families. Only the Leiting gym was free for high school students. His eyes followed the groups of people who also carried weapons to practice here. Suddenly, a familiar figure in the crowd made Kan Min pause. "Isn't that—" The girl with the Heim-style bangs chattering cheerfully with her friends was Duong Ki-hwa, Kan Min's older cousin. Her slender figure and exquisite face made her stand out in the crowd, attracting attention wherever she went. Seeing a familiar face, Kan Min immediately waved and called out in a relaxed tone, "Cousin Kai, what brings you to the Lighting Gym?" But Duong Ki just tilted her head and replied with a faint smile, "I came with my friends." The brief reply made the atmosphere a bit awkward. Getting the hint, Kan Min didn't linger, forcing a smile and nodding. "Oh, I see. You guys go ahead and chat, Cousin Kai. I'm heading to the training room." Duong Ki crossed her arms, feigning disinterest, but her eyes still followed his figure. A strange feeling arose in her heart. It's weird he seems very different from before. Tia Nha beside her leaned in and whispered curiously, Kai, who is that? He looks quite handsome." Duong Ki had no intention of hiding anything, introducing him briefly while looking at him. "Hua Kan Min, my younger cousin. He's a high school senior just like us, taking the college entrance exam tomorrow." Man Kwang suddenly looked annoyed. "Why are you asking so many questions? Tia Nha, do you like him?" She immediately got a starry-eyed look on her face. "I do with looks like that, as long as his strength isn't too bad. Wouldn't it give me so much face to show him off as my boyfriend later?" But this dream was immediately extinguished by Duong Ki. "I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint you. He only awakened an E-rank ability." As expected, Tia Nha was extremely disappointed. Just an E-rank ability, what a pity. On the contrary, that information rather impressed Man Kwang. An E-rank ability, and he still dares to take the combat exam. He's got guts. Duong Kai, however, didn't think highly of it. So what if he has guts? The risk is just too great. I hope he doesn't participate in the combat exam. As soon as she finished speaking, Tia Nha pulled her by the arm and ran forward. "All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Didn't we come to the Lighting Gym for a tour?" Down the hallway, Duong Ki's friends were still chatting lively about the gym. Dung also said, "I spent all 3 years of high school at the Baoxiong gym. This is my first time at Lighting. It's good to relax before the college entrance exam. Let's go." Meanwhile, Kan Min had entered a training room. He rested the spear on his shoulder, his eyes fixed on the training target. His fingers gently stroked the spear's shaft. Kan Min could clearly feel a change. The spear, it's gotten lighter. Or rather, is it because my physical strength has increased? He stood the spear upright, his voice tinged with annoyance. "But the college entrance exam is tomorrow. There's no time to find a more suitable weapon." With that said, Kan Min stood firm, gathering all his strength. "First, I'll test my peak strength without using my ability." He took a deep breath, his chest heaving, his entire body brimming with power. His hand tightened on the grip, and the spear shaft spun faster and faster, bending to the point where it seemed about to snap. His hand tightened on the grip, and the spear shaft spun faster and faster, bending to the point where it seemed about to snap. The sharp spearhead whistled through the air, shot straight into the wooden target, and pierced its surface, leaving a deep, unceasingly vibrating indentation. The power level display showed 321 CA. The training room itself is forged from primary memory metal. As long as the attack is within a tolerable range, it will automatically restore itself to its original state. Kan Min nodded slightly, quite satisfied with this result. His pure physical strength had actually doubled compared to before. The maximum physical strength of a normal awakener was only 100 CA, but he didn't stop. Kan Min's eyes gradually turned pure white, and a few crackling bolts of lightning appeared around his body, his aura growing even more intense. Next, he would test the purple firmament divine thunder. The power he unleashed grew increasingly fierce, but it was completely under his control. Because of this, Kan Min was able to gather all the energy into a blinding beam of light and shoot it straight at the wooden target. The lightning bolt collided and an earth-shattering shockwave erupted. Stray bolts of lightning shot out in all directions, brilliantly illuminating the entire room. The number displayed was even more terrifying than before, 3,021 say. This made him extremely excited. Worthy of an S-rank ability, truly heaven-defying. The attack power of a first-stage ability user was only 1,000 CA yet. Even though I haven't reached the first stage, I can already unleash the attack power of a mid-tier first-stage ability user. But the flame of ambition in his heart had not yet died down. Kan Min wanted to test his strength once more. This still isn't my limit. Arcs of electricity shrieked, piercingly released with increasing ferocity, coiling around his entire body. Physical strength enhanced by my ability and then stacked with combat skills. That is my true killing move. He used one leg as a pivot, letting the unleashed power threaten to destroy the entire room. Frenzied arcs of electricity completely enveloped the spear's shaft, turning it into a brilliantly glowing thunder spear. Kan Min thrust the spear forward, his expression devoid of emotion. The sharp spearhead aimed straight at the wooden target. This attack was the flashing lightning gale. At the point of contact, a swirling orb of energy instantly appeared, flashing manically with purple and white light. Waiting for the opportune moment, Kan Min roared in a low voice, "Break!" The sphere of lightning exploded, creating countless energy vortexes that spread out violently, and a blinding purple-white light enveloped the entire space. At that moment, the main hall was affected and began to shake violently, causing everyone to shout in fear, "Earthquake!" On the same floor, Duong Qi and her group of friends were also thrown off balance by the strong tremors, having to hold onto the wall tightly to stay upright. But Man Kuang remained calm. His eyes narrowed as if sensing the surrounding fluctuations. Such a strong energy fluctuation, it has definitely reached the level of an ability user. Hearing that, the entire group's expressions changed. TUNHA looked disbelieving. "I remember this floor is specifically for high school students to train." He then offered his theory. Perhaps some monster-level ability user came in here to train, or a new high school ability user has appeared. Instead of standing around making wild guesses, Duong Kai made a more decisive choice. "Let's go see and we'll know." She began to lead the way, following her intuition towards Kan Min's direction. The energy fluctuation probably came from somewhere around here. His appearance surprised Duong Qi quite a bit. "Tu Min getting ready to go home," he replied friendly. "I want to go home early to prepare." Hearing that, she raised her fist in an encouraging gesture. "All right, good luck on the combat exam tomorrow, but be sure to stay safe." Man Kuang seemed impatient and urged, "Never mind him, the energy fluctuation came from this place." Finally, she tracked it down to the door of the suspicious location. "So this is the place," he stated with conviction. "There's no mistake." When they opened the door, they were greeted by a scene of utter devastation, to the point that someone unconsciously cried out in shock. "What happened here?" The group just stood there, thunderstruck, their faces a mixture of astonishment and extreme shock. TUNHA had a horrified expression on her face. She couldn't help but exclaim, "Good heavens, even the memory metal was blown apart." How powerful must this attack have been? Does our Jiangtan city really have such a strong high school student? Man Kuang looked at the traces on it and speculated, "It's probably not a high school student. I can still feel an incredibly violent power in the residual energy. The opponent might even be a second-stage ability user who accidentally came to this floor and used the training room to test their strength." Hua Quan was a bit bewildered but still had to show off, "I told you so. An attack of this magnitude is impossible for a high school student to achieve." Huang Fai agreed with him. "That's right, not even the provincial geniuses could do this, let alone someone from our Jiangtan city." Suddenly, TUNHA came up with a hypothesis. "Just now, only Hua Kan Min passed by here. What do you guys think? Could he have been the one who caused this attack? Maybe he's actually a super genius who has been secretly hiding his strength, just waiting for the combat exam tomorrow to surprise everyone." Huang Fai helplessly scratched his head. "You don't find that very plausible, do you? Have you been reading too many of those web novels about hidden masters? How could you even come up with something so unbelievable?" Hua Quan's face darkened as he said through gritted teeth, "Hiding your strength requires having strength to hide in the first place. He's just an E-rank ability awakener. It'd be impressive if his attack power could even reach 300. Man Kuang looked towards Duong Qi, asking for her opinion. "Both ends of this hallway lead outside. That powerful ability user must have left through the other side, which is why we didn't run into them. Duong Kai, what do you think? Hearing that, Duong Ki took a few steps back and replied faintly, perhaps so. Looking at the remaining traces, she thought to herself, these marks, they actually look like they were left by a long spear. Remembering the silhouette of that boy, Duong Kai's gaze became somewhat determined. She thought to herself, so Hua Kan Min is still insisting on participating in the combat university entrance exam. Does he really not know his own limits? The scene shifts to the day of the combat exam. The atmosphere here feels like a decisive battle is about to take place. Everyone had their weapons ready in hand, along with being mentally prepared. The crowd was bustling with lively chatter, the atmosphere incredibly crowded. Kan Min carried a spear on his shoulder, his confident gaze sweeping over the surroundings. A few people were chattering noisily. Is this our exam site? Holy cow, I think I saw a one-horned rhinoceros. Weren't the exams before just common beasts like shadow cats and iron-furred pigs? This year's exam is way too hard. Min Duong saw their cowardly demeanor and said in a stern voice, so what if it's a one-horned rhinoceros? If you can't even deal with a beast of this level, then even if you luckily get into an ability university, you'll still just be a worthless piece of trash in the end. The commotion over there also caught Kan Min's attention. Who is that guy? He talks so big. Lu Kiet, a companion of Hua Kan Min, explained, who else could it be that's Chu Min Duong, the light wind sword of number 1 high school? Lu Kiet added, I heard he possesses the B-rank Light Spirit Swiftwind ability. His strength has already broken through the unranked state, advancing to a first-stage ability user. After hearing this, Kan Min felt extremely interested. So it's him the genius hailed as this year's top scorer for the combat exam. Between him and me, who is stronger? Suddenly, a loud male voice shouted, drawing the crowd's attention, all candidates listen up! Hearing the voice, the entire crowd looked in one direction. Hai Duong looked over the crowd with a stern expression. Let me introduce myself. I am Wang Hai Duong, the chief commander of this Jiangtan City combat exam. Before the exam begins, I will reiterate a few points of attention. Hai Duong explained while pointing behind him. The combat exam will begin at 9 in the morning and end at 9 at night for a total duration of 12 hours. The location of the exam is the abandoned small town behind me. His voice continued on steadily as he gestured to the topographical map. Similar to the previous year's university entrance exam, the exam site is divided into an outer perimeter, a middle area, an inner circle, and a central core. Killing beasts of different types and ranks will earn you different scores. The higher the beast's rank and the stronger its power, the higher the score. Hai Duong emphasized the most important point. The central core is equivalent to the super difficult questions on a normal test. It is left for the top students to challenge. You should all act according to your own abilities. There is no need to lose your life for the sake of points. Kan Min's gaze was serious as he thought to himself, if this were yesterday, I would have at most dared to roam around the outer perimeter. But now I must charge into the inner circle and perhaps even the central core. All of them lined up. Starting now, we will distribute the exam supplies. Please come to your homeroom teacher to collect them in order. Tran Pham handed him a small bag. In total, there were 3 items. They were in order a smartwatch to track the number and type of beasts killed for accumulating points, a tactical backpack containing 3 energy bars, 1 standard-issue water supply, and 1 single-use medical kit to ensure candidates can last for 12 continuous hours, and a safety sphere which upon activation can form a high-voltage electric grid that ordinary beasts cannot break through. He was worried, so he decided to remind him one more time. Although using the safety sphere will end the exam early for you, you must remember your life is more important than anything else. Kan Min replied softly, Thank you, teacher. I know what to do. Suddenly, a beautiful girl approached him, Hua Kan Min. She cheerfully asked, You probably don't have a squad yet, right? Why not team up with us? Lu Kiet added with a standard smile, I just recently awakened a C-rank ability, Kanich Min. I'll protect you when we get inside. Luke Dien looked on with dissatisfaction. Class president, it's fine to be a nice guy usually, but this is the college entrance exam. The brown-haired youth chimed in, a team can only have 5 people at most. If we bring them along, how are we supposed to get a high score? Seeing this, Lu Kiet angrily questioned them. We already promised. Are you guys really going back on your word? They began to argue incessantly. Who knew he would actually dare to participate in the college entrance exam? Anyway, I don't want to carry a dead weight. Seeing Lu Kiet's agitated state, Kan Min stopped him. Old Lu class president, I appreciate your good intentions. His eyes were filled with determination. I plan to enter the exam area alone. You guys can form a team. Lu Kiet was a little worried for him. Are you serious? The girl reminded him, is that so? All right, then you must be careful. At this, Luke Dien pulled them away. Good thing you know your place. Let's go, we should find Huang Tian to team up. Witnessing this scene, Kan Min just gave a cold little smile as if he had anticipated everything. Nothing was beyond his expectations. He looked up, his eyes flashing with absolute confidence as he declared, "Even without you, I can still get a high score." Right after an announcement echoed throughout the area, its solemn tone striking every candidate's heart, the 2037 Jiangtan City Martial Arts College entrance exam officially begins. Activating the exam site's cameras, unmanned cameras are tracking, preparing to start the live stream of the college entrance exam. The atmosphere exploded, and each candidate shot forward like an arrow released from a bow, charging ahead frantically. My goal is the Jiangnam University for Special Abilities. Behind them, the crowd accelerated in unison, everyone understanding this was their only chance to prove themselves. This time, I must astonish everyone. At the same time, the loudspeaker blared, "Candidates enter the field." Duong Qi and Man Kuang clenched their fists, their expressions extremely serious as they charged forward, their presence as imposing as anyone's. On the other side, another group of candidates also went all out, running for their lives, as if a second's delay would cost them their chance. Among them, the most outstanding was Min Duong. He was like a fierce tiger descending the mountain, his every step, even his speed, leaving everyone else far behind. Over here, Kan Min also pushed forward relentlessly, each stride carrying unshakable determination. His eyes were resolute. He took a deep breath and said to himself, "Martial Arts College entrance exam, here I come." At that very moment, he paused for a beat, raising his hand to activate the device on his wrist. The combat positioning system immediately opened, and the screen quickly displayed information, "Confirmation successful. Candidate Hua Kanjmin, Class 12-5 of Jiangtan City's number 2 high school. Registration number is..." Afterward, a leaderboard was listed. Exam area number 179 rankings. First place, Chumin Duong, 7 points. Jiangtan number 1 high school. Second place, Liu Yen, 5 points, Jiangtan number 1 high school. Third place, Triu Ho, 4 points, Jiangtan number 1 high school. Looking at these results, Kan Min's interest was piqued. As expected of the top scorer from number 1 high school, he's already started killing fierce beasts so quickly. I should get moving too. He slowly considered his options. There's still some distance from the outer perimeter to the center, so I'll just head directly to the central area. In a certain corner, the surrounding scenery was a dilapidated building. Kan Min continued to move forward when suddenly the sight before him made him freeze up a bit. Kan Min stood still, looking at the person before him who was covered in grievous injuries and drenched in blood. Next to this person was a piece of green jade. Only now did he understand his teacher's intention. The injuries are really severe. He didn't even use the safety sphere. No wonder the dean advised me to give up the martial exam. Seeing this scene, Kan Min finally realized the severity of the situation. If I hadn't awakened an S-rank ability, I'm afraid I would have ended up like this too. Finally, he comforted himself. In chess, one does not regret a move. The martial exam is just this cruel. He pressed the distress button on the person's hand. Call the logistics staff. Opportunity always comes with risk. Not everyone gets the chance to defy fate and change their destiny. Suddenly, a sound from behind startled Kan Min. A chill ran down his spine as he stared wide-eyed. He immediately saw a giant beast's paw slowly land on the ground, each heavy step thudding as it gradually approached his position. Its blood-red eyes locked onto Kan Min, filled with killing intent. It was clear this was no ordinary monster. Getting a clear look at the shadow cat before him, Kan Min realized the other person's intention. To think he would deliberately leave a living witness to ambush whoever came near. It stared as if it wanted to devour him whole. Kan Min took a sharp breath, a sense of alarm rising in his heart. This is a trap! Kan Min immediately lowered his center of gravity, his entire body tensing up, a hint of caution flashing in his eyes. The shadow cat let out a low roar, then lunged forward like a bolt of lightning, tearing through the air. Kan Min reacted in an instant, his foot stomping hard on the ground as his body shot backward, narrowly dodging the attack. The shadow cat's sharp claws slashed through the air, missing their mark. Its body faltered, its rhythm clearly disrupted. It paused and then whipped its head around, its blood-red eyes locked onto Kan Min, its fierce gaze looking like it wanted to tear him to shreds. He remained calm, his eyes quickly assessing its agile, body-sharp claws, a bite force of thousands of kilograms. Truly deserving of the title, Rookie Killer. The shadow cat growled, a cold light glinting in its eyes, each step thudding on the ground as if heralding the fury it was about to unleash. Kan Min silently calculated the reason fierce beasts are called fierce is because they possess a unique, ferocious aura that can intimidate their prey. It's said that most first-time awakened ones are paralyzed by this fierce aura when they encounter a beast unable to exert even 3/10 of their strength. Some even surrender without a fight. He recalled the knowledge he had. That's why wealthy families hire special ability user bodyguards to take their children to the wilderness to get them accustomed to fighting fierce beasts early on. The shadow cat prepared to pounce again, its body tensed, muscles coiled like a compressed spring. Kan Min continued to think, I of course don't have such resources. This is my first time facing a real fierce beast. It roared, then charged straight at him like a starving beast, its blood-red eyes glowing its killing intent pressing down on him. Kan Min remained still, his hand tightening around the shaft of his spear. In a split second, he moved the cold tip of the spear, tearing through the air. A single strike pierced straight through the beast's head. A sickening crack of bone echoed as fresh blood spurted out, dyeing the ground red. At this moment, Kan Min held the spear firmly, his movements clean and decisive. His brows furrowed slightly, a hint of doubt flashing in his eyes. It seems this aura has absolutely no effect on me. A series of notifications appeared on the system. Killed unranked fierce beast, shadow cat ability points +3. Fierce beasts are divided into 9 levels from rank 1 to rank 9. Beasts below rank 1 are unranked beasts corresponding to the human awakened. Looking at the map in his hand, Kan Min said softly, killing fierce beasts can earn ability points, thereby increasing my true strength. However, unranked beasts give too few points. He moved closer and closer to the central area where several ruined buildings stood. Just like that, Kan Min continued toward the center. If the beast's aura doesn't affect me much, then staying in the outer area is meaningless. I should hurry to the central zone. Along the way, he continuously slaughtered fierce beasts. Killed unranked fierce beast, shadow cat ability points +5. Killed unranked fierce beast, iron-furred boar ability points +5. Killed unranked fierce beast. Kan Min swung the spear in his hand like a pinwheel. Notifications of added points continuously appeared for him. Ability points +3 ability points +5 ability points +5 ability points +6. After a while, Kan Min assessed, I've gained quite a few ability points, but I'm still lacking in actual combat experience. I could use the Violet Sky Divine Lance to quickly eliminate unranked beasts, but that wouldn't be an effective way to improve my skills. He thought to himself, moreover, the higher the ability's rank, the greater the consumption. If I use the Violet Sky Divine Lance at full power, I can't even maintain it for an hour. Before my E-rank, weak electricity could last for more than 3 hours. Kan Min kept moving forward, his eyes full of determination. But the martial exam lasts for 12 hours. Before entering the central area, I can't waste my ability's energy. Afterward, he encountered a one-horned rhinoceros. He continued with this strategy for the rest of the journey, relying solely on his own spearmanship to kill the fierce beasts and gain more combat experience. A one-horned rhinoceros. Kan Min relied on his agility, making the rhinoceros chase after him. Just when the rhinoceros thought it was about to kill him, Kan Min performed a somersault, easily dodging its attack. Then he quickly struck its weak point with his spear. The rhinoceros, struck on the head, roared in pain. Kan Min landed lightly behind him, the thud of the falling fierce rhino beast. Kan Min let out a sigh of relief. He suddenly realized that the speed at which he killed the fierce beast was much faster than before. Could it be that his spearmanship had unknowingly achieved a breakthrough? Opening the evaluation panel, Physique 4 Chi and Blood Spirit, 160 Hz skills, spearmanship, intermediate plus lightning. Swift windbreak, beginner plus special ability points, 256 points. Kan Min was very satisfied seeing this. Indeed, his spearmanship had broken through to the intermediate level. It seems that relying on spearmanship in actual combat brings the biggest boost in strength. He selected spearmanship. Intermediate spearmanship allowed him to feel like he could do whatever he wanted. What would it be like if he upgraded his spearmanship a step further? Immediately, a series of movements were transmitted directly into Kan Min's mind. These images astonished him immensely. Kan Min was surprised, truly astonished, as countless advanced spearmanship techniques appeared in his mind. At this moment, he had only one thought. He was really looking forward to finding a Tier 1 fierce beast to test it on. Elsewhere at the same time, the class president's group seemed to notice something. Qin Du voiced her thoughts. I think I saw Kan Min. Hearing this, Luke Dien immediately retorted, Class president, are your eyes playing tricks on you? It can't be him with his strength. Wouldn't coming here be a death wish? Hearing that she felt a little down, I really must have seen it wrong, but the figure just now really looked a lot like Hua Kanmin. Lu Kiet was a little worried. I wonder how Kanmin is doing. Manduong, seeing them dazed, called out loudly, "Come over here and look, this one-horned rhinoceros seems to have died not too long ago." Seeing this scene, Qin Dieu speculated the fresh blood from the wound hasn't dried yet, which means the time of death was probably a few minutes ago. This one is quite large. The white-haired young man added in more detail, "The fatal wound is on its head, judging by the wound's condition. It was likely a piercing injury from a long weapon, a long spear." Another thought occurred to her. Could it be that the person I saw nearby just now really was Hua Kanmin? Luke Dien looked incredulous. "Don't tell me you're saying this one-horned rhinoceros was killed by Hua Kanmin," the brown-haired young man said scornfully. "This is a fierce beast that only an E-rank awakened can kill Hua Kanmin. How could he possibly do it?" Man Duong reminded them whether it was killed by Hua Kanmin or not. "We'll know just by looking at his point ranking, won't we?" Only then did Qin Dieu open the rankings to check 45th place Lu Suang, 261 points from Jiangtan No. 3 High School. 46th place Hua Kanmin, 256 points from Jiangtan No. 2 High School. 47th place Vuong Min Min, 248 points from Jiangtan No. 2 High School. Seeing this, the class president realized it really is him. The others were completely shocked, muttering incessantly, "No, impossible, Hua Kanmin. He's already in the top 50. Could it be someone with the same name or all E-rank awakened this strong these years? I don't believe it." In another corner among the outside spectators, everyone was in a heated discussion. Number 1 High School is as strong as ever, basically occupying the top 10 spots. Another person spoke up, especially Chu Min Duong, with 410 points in first place. "It seems the city's top scorer has been decided. Our Jiangtan hasn't had anyone in the provincial top 100 for many years. I wonder if he can do it." Truong Van Son, the director of the Jiangtan Education Bureau, confidently declared Chu Min Duong as our Jiangtan's ace. His light spirit swift wind is very powerful. Even in the provincial martial arts examination, he wouldn't be weaker than others. From what I see, he might even break into the top 100 of Jiangnam province. He laughed loudly with an arrogant look. "Old Lu, I have always been quite satisfied with the education at your number 1 high school. No 3 high school isn't bad either. Someone finally made it into the top 10. The principals of number 1 and no 3 high schools humbly flattered. It's all thanks to your effective guidance, director. We will have to rely on you more in the future." Van Son turned to remind them, "But no 2 high school needs to step up. Your best performing student is only ranked 18th, causing the principal of number 2 high school to quickly bow his head. Yes, yes. The principal of number 2 high school was sweating bullets in the top 50. There are only 8 students from number 2 high school, Triu Dieu, the principal of number 2 high school. Le Min Duong Kien Duong Ku Hua Kan Min. You brats better not be so pathetic." After muttering for the while, he suddenly realized, "Wait a minute, who is this Hua Kanmin? Why have I never heard this name before? Is there such a person in the rocket class?" At this moment, Tran Pham heard his name, and it was like a bolt from the blue. His hair stood on end. Hua Kanmin, he actually made it into the top 50. He broke out in a cold sweat. But isn't this kid an E-rank awakened? Could it be that he hid his true strength, but no matter how he hid it, could an E-rank special ability suddenly turn into an S-rank one? Tran Pham looked helplessly at the large screen. He wondered, only the top 10 get a special camera feed right now. I can't find any video of Hua Kanmin at all. Just how did he get such a high score? The scene changes to the interior, the central region, with a high danger level. The location has changed, and the surrounding atmosphere is also different, a place few have set foot in. Kanmin stepped on a glass bottle, moving closer to the ruins before him. Kanmin thought to himself while nibbling on some food upon reaching the central region. The fierce beasts are clearly much fewer. The graded fierce beasts have gained sentience and also have territorial awareness, making them much harder to deal with than the ungraded ones. His eyes turned serious, his tone filled with a hint of anticipation. "It's here." A ferocious tiger stepped out, smashing 2 cars next to it, its eyes fixed solely on Kanmin. The tiger advanced towards him, roaring loudly. Kanmin took the opportunity to assess it, a Tier 1 fierce beast, the blade tiger. Kanmin showed no fear. He was pleased. "It seems my luck isn't bad. I just entered the central region and already ran into a Tier 1 fierce beast." Kanmin didn't hesitate any longer. He immediately gripped his spear and charged towards it. "I'll use you to test my spearmanship." The blade tiger bared its fangs and brandished its claws, roaring fiercely at Kanmin. He quickly leaped and moved, dodging its powerful blow. Kan Min held the long spear horizontally in front of him with both hands, his feet firmly planted on the ground in a defensive stance. The blade tiger's eyes glowed with a green light, its face ferocious with sharp teeth. The sharp tip of the spear met its massive claws, not at all outmatched. The beast that was so ferocious a moment ago now stood panting. The claw that clashed with the spear tip began to tremble. Beneath his long bangs, Kan Min's eyes shone with confidence, and a slight smile played on his lips. He thought to himself, is this all the strength a Tier 1 blade tiger has? Perhaps only a Tiger King could make me put in some effort. As soon as the thought finished, the tall, slender figure immediately dashed towards the blade tiger at an extremely fast speed, shouting at the same time to send you on your way. The long spear swept a circle in the air, its tip moving from behind his back to in front of Kan Min. Bright red blood spurted from the giant beast's chest. The spear in his hand plunged deep into the blade tiger. It let out a pained roar, its drool-filled mouth wide open, revealing sharp teeth. Kan Min pulled out the spear and spun it vertically in front of him, his eyes still on the beast, not letting his guard down. His sharp gaze under tightly knitted brows glanced towards the blade tiger. After taking his last blow, the blade tiger winced in pain, the green in its eyes glowing even brighter. It ferociously charged its massive body towards where Kan Min was standing. Facing the aggressively advancing beast, Kan Min calmly lowered his stance, the long spear held horizontally before him. The beast relentlessly swiped its claws at Kan Min, but he dodged every single blow. His agile body dodged to the side as a massive claw swept past, knocking away a sturdy pillar nearby. While dodging, Kan Min turned his head to observe the fierce beast he was facing. As expected of a Tier 1 fierce beast, its vitality is truly resilient. It still wants to put up the desperate struggle of a cornered beast. Large chunks of debris constantly flew around the two bodies under the blade tiger's assault. Kan Min's hands tightened on the spear shaft in front of him. Purple sparks coiled around the spear, but struggling is futile. The fierce wind blew his hair back. Kan Min swung the spear forcefully, and streams of blue-purple light shot out. Countless rays of light shot towards the snarling beast on the opposite side. The columns of light struck its body, tearing off patches of fur and skin. Fresh blood spurted out along with the creature's pained cries. Kan Min remained in his attack stance in front of the beast's colossal body. The blade tiger lay silently on the ruined road, dark red bloodstains trailing across the ground. Kan Min twirled the spear in front of him, an excited smile on his lips, as the system announced, killed one Tier 1 blade tiger, special ability points plus 14. Hearing the notification, he casually commented, the special ability points gained from killing a Tier 1 fierce beast are almost double that of an ungraded one. Kan Min decisively turned and left without a hint of hesitation. Behind him lay the corpse of the beast that had fiercely confronted him moments ago. The stronger the fierce beast, the higher the ability points. In the eyes of others, the competition arena was fraught with ambushes everywhere, but to him it was a rare sanctuary for leveling up. Images of all sorts of fierce beasts flashed through his mind. While moving quickly, Kan Min silently calculated, this is a rare opportunity. I need to seize the time and harvest more ability points. A gloomy gray sky covered the entire ruined, dilapidated city. On the projection screen in the auditorium, the continuously updated leaderboard was displayed. 32nd So Hu Yen, 345 points. Zhang Tan, number 1. High School 32nd Hua. Kan Min, 328 points. Zhang Tan, number 2. High School 32nd Li Tu Duong. 328 points. Zhang Tan, number 2. High School. Someone looked at the screen in surprise. Teacher Tran Pham, is that Hua Kan Min really from your class 5? A group of people surrounded Tran Pham, talking non-stop. With so many parallel classes, only a student from your class made it into the top 50. Teacher Tran Pham, you truly have a great teaching method. That's right, in half a year we should have Teacher Tran hold a lecture to share his teaching experience. He was flustered by their persistent questions. No, it's all due to the students' own efforts. It has nothing to do with me. Just then, someone cried out in astonishment, pointing at the large screen for everyone to see. Everyone look, Hua Kan Min's rank has risen again. He actually gained 44 points in one go. Van Son, standing to one side, observing the situation, stroked his chin and smiled thoughtfully. According to the martial exam scoring system, killing a peak unranked fierce beast earns 6 to 8 points. Killing a lowest first stage fierce beast can earn 14 to 16 points. Hearing this, Trieu Dieu, who was standing nearby, also raised his finger and started muttering calculations, and the smartwatch's kill count statistic is 4 seconds, which is to say, not waiting for the man's slow calculation, Van Son spoke up with a cunning smile, providing the answer first. It means that in a short span of 4 seconds, Hua Kan-min killed 5 peak unranked fierce beasts or 3 lowest first stage fierce beasts. He couldn't help but sigh inwardly. I haven't seen this kind of performance in many years. Outwardly, he continued to smile and inquire, "Principal Trio, this student of your school is quite a promising seed. Why have you never mentioned him before?" Hearing this, Trio Dieu immediately spread his hands, feigning ignorance while glancing towards Tran Pom. "To be honest with you, I've only just found out myself. For the specific details, you'll have to ask his class's head teacher." Not keeping Van Son waiting, he immediately walked over and grabbed Tran Pham's shoulder, saying, "Teacher Tran, come over here quickly and explain Hua Kan-min's situation to the leadership. For example, what kind of talent does he have?" Suddenly dragged in front of Van Son, he couldn't help but feel nervous. He bowed slightly and stammered, "Director Principal is about this. Hua Kan-min awakened an E-rank weak electricity ability." Hearing the answer from Tran Pham's own mouth, Trio Dieu exclaimed in shock, "Just an E-rank ability, Teacher Tran, you're not mistaken, are you?" He scratched his head a bit worried, but still affirmed with certainty, "No, I'm not. Before the college entrance exam, I even specifically reminded him not to bother with the martial exam. I never expected this." Van Son, still seated, calmly opened the lid of his thermos. Watching the steam rise from the opening, he spoke in an even voice. "To have come this far with just an E-rank ability, it seems student Hua Kan-min must be superior in other aspects. This makes one even more curious." Raising the thermos, he took a sip of water and said with a smirk, "Let's wait a bit. With his high score, he'll probably break into the top 10 very soon." A cunning glint flashed in his narrow eyes as Van Son continued, "By then we'll know exactly how he managed to do it, and if it was through cheating." Before he could finish his sentence, Trio Dieu and Tran Pham, standing to the side, were already breaking out in a cold sweat of fear. Their bodies jolted, unable to contain their alarm. The leaderboard updated once more, revealing the names in the top 10. 8th Li Tu Di 9th, Hua Kan-min 10th Mangok, Van 11th Diep Li 12th Duong Ki. Duong Ki, in a transformed state, squatted on the back of a defeated fierce beast. Raising a cat-like claw to his face, he thought, "So it really was you who delivered that blow yesterday? Cousin Kan-min, 12th Duong Ki." Elsewhere, Min Duong was rushing down the road, glancing at the watch on his left wrist and murmuring, "6 hours left until the end of the college entrance exam, and there's a strange face in the top 10. First, Chu Min Duong. Hua Kan-min, I've never heard of him." Kan-min's tall, slender figure on the street was perfectly captured by the camera. The long spear crackling with purple lightning swept through the fierce beast, and all these images were recorded. Raising his weapon high above his head, he looked happily at his achievement on the ground. A system notification sound chimed, "Killed a first-stage phantom cat. Ability points plus 14. He softly agreed. As expected, the kill rate for fierce beasts is much higher in the central region. Resting the spear on his shoulder, Kan-min tilted his head up slightly to look at the drone flying behind him. "A tracking drone. Looks like I've made it into the top 10. Twirling the spear once to point its tip to the ground, he stood up straight with confidence. "The martial arts college entrance exam is fundamentally a test of a candidate's strength and potential. The better the performance, the more favor you gain. I never intended to hide my strength anyway. The top 10 is just the beginning." Observing his stats on the sea blue interface panel, Kan-min planned his next move. "But before entering the central zone, I still need to upgrade my strength. Name Hua Kan-min. Level awakened. Ability Purple Firmament Divine Thunder. Physique 141 plus Vitality. Spirit 160. Skill Advanced Spearmanship Lightning Gale. Strike Beginner plus. Ability points 312. Looking at his stats, even he was surprised. "I have over 300 ability points, but there's still no prompt to level up. It seems the only way to advance from an awakened to an ability user is by studying and cultivating abilities." A faint purple mist emanated from his open left palm, enveloping Kan-min's body. He made a silent decision. "Then I'll just have to keep upgrading my base attributes." Kan-min clenched his fist, the corners of his lips curling into a slight smile. "This feeling isn't bad at all. It's time to head to the central zone." The faint purple wisps of light swirling around him had not yet completely dissipated. The system interface displayed physique plus 40, spirit plus 22. The traffic light was stuck on red. The sign was also a bright red. Central zone, danger level highest. A pack of ferocious blade tigers was tearing apart the carcass of another species of fierce beast. The pack leader Blade Tiger had distinct fiery red eyes. It was chewing on a bloody piece of flesh from a one-horned rhinoceros. The rhinoceros's corpse on the ground was still fresh. The light had not yet faded from its pupils, its body a bloody mess. Kan Min hid in a concealed corner observing the pack of blade tigers. A smile on his face, he mentally counted them. 9 blade tigers. The aura and physique of one of them are outstanding, plus the astonishing length of its arm blades. It must be the Blade Tiger King. His eyebrows furrowed in excitement, his body poised to dash out. Looks like this will be a big harvest. But something suddenly interrupted, causing Kan Min to whip his head around warily. His face was filled with coldness, his sharp eyes fixed on the approaching figure. "Come out, I've already spotted you." Caught Min Duong awkwardly forced a smile and spoke, "So perceptive. To think you'd spot me like that. I didn't expect you to be the Hua Kan Min who broke into the top 10. The other person's identity was unexpected, and Kan Min couldn't help but be surprised. "Chu Min Duong, you know me." He curved his eyes into a friendly smile, his tone amicable and approachable. "I know everyone with the strength to enter the central zone except for you. So when I suddenly saw a new face, I guessed it was the mysterious newcomer." The other's answer was perfectly clear. Kan Min's eyes widened in understanding. "So that's how it is." Min Duong's hand rested on the hilt of the sword at his hip as his calm voice continued. "I've been watching this pack of blade tigers for a while now." He paused slightly. Filled with vigilance, Kan Min retorted, "Are you trying to steal my monsters?" Seeing the other's hostility, Min Duong quickly waved his hands. "Don't misunderstand, the Blade Tiger King is a mid-tier, first-stage fierce beast, and with its pack of 9 blade tigers hunting together, even a strong person can't handle them alone. We could cooperate." Before he could finish, Kan Min flatly refused, "No need." His long bangs obscured one eye while the other shone with triumph. Kan Min casually raised a hand to rub his neck. "I'm enough on my own." His sneaker-clad foot stomped heavily on the red brick pavement, emitting a dull thud. Kan Min stood tall and imposing, directly facing the ferocious pack of blade tigers blocking his path. One hand gripped his spear tightly, his posture tall and straight. Streaks of shimmering purple light enveloped his body like the armor of a war god. Noticing the appearance of an outsider, the pack of blade tigers bared their fangs and growled. Their sharp white fangs gleamed and killing intent filled the air. Kan Min's brows furrowed his gaze sharp and cold. Carefully observing the pack of fierce beasts, he thought to himself, as expected of a pack with a beast leader, they even have the intelligence to use a simple formation. On a high mound, the blade tiger pack leader bared its fangs, its shoulders trembling with each breath. Then it opened its mouth wide and let out a roar that shook the very space around them. As if receiving a command, the other tigers simultaneously bared their fangs and growled, their green eyes locked onto Kan Min, their gazes burning with murderous intent. Suddenly, a blade tiger roared loudly, its body leaping into the air, hurtling straight towards him like a ferocious whirlwind. From a hidden corner, Min Duong watched with his arms crossed, a flicker of interest in his eyes as he let out a soft, faint laugh. Let's see if this guy is courting death or if he really has something special. Kan Min didn't even blink, his hand tightening on the spear shaft, spinning it continuously, as faint purple streaks of light coiled into a circle. A swirling gust of wind swept out from the spearhead, the faint purple lights radiating in a circle, spinning violently. His hands moved faster and faster, the spear becoming a blur, leaving only a brilliant purple ring of light spinning protectively in front of him. The sound of whistling wind merged with resounding roars as the first blade tiger pounced, followed by a whole series of others leaping after it. The massive bodies of the entire blade tiger pack descended at once, forming a terrifying encirclement that trapped Kan Min in the middle. The long spear in Kan Min's hand spun more and more fiercely at speed so fast that its path was impossible to follow. The harsh clang of metal rang out as the spear shaft continuously blocked every pounce from the ferocious beast's fangs and claws, which were as sharp as steel blades. All by himself, with only a spear as his weapon, he sent each massive blade tiger flying outwards like giant sandbags. He stopped the motion of his hands, the spear sweeping in a neat arc to rest behind his back as the blood of the blade tigers splattered. The howls of the blade tigers echoed the once ferocious beasts, now writhing in agony. Their mouths wide open in pathetic cries, their blood staining the brick ground red beneath them. The system's notifications chimed one after another. Killed 1 Tier 1 low-rank blade tiger plus 10 psionic points. Killed 1 Tier 1 mid-rank blade tiger plus 15 psionic points. Killed 1 blade tiger. One by one, their massive bodies were knocked away, collapsing onto the ground and leaving long trails of blood. A blade tiger slowly approached, its huge paws crushing the corpses of its own kind. From the shadows, the blade tiger pack leader appeared, its eyes glowing red like 2 hellfires, its body twice the size of the ones that had just fallen. Remnants of purple light from Kan Min's previous attack still lingered before slowly dissipating as he calmly remarked, his voice as indifferent as a cold wind, "What a pity my physical strength is still a bit lacking. I couldn't kill all of them." In response, the giant beast spun its body violently, countless rays of crimson light radiating from its flesh, each stream of energy howling, saturated with killing intent. Kan Min stood calmly amidst the giant corpses to face it, his posture straight, his gaze unwavering. The pack leader threw its head back and roared, the sound echoing like thunder, its enormous mouth gaping open to reveal sharp teeth as sticky strands of drool fell, emitting a horrific, pungent stench. The window panes of the surrounding buildings shattered simultaneously, sending shards flying everywhere, forcing Kan Min to look up. Min Duong, hiding in a corner, couldn't help but cover his ears amidst the sound of shattering glass. A flash of anger appeared in Kan Min's eyes, his expression turning cold. "You start with threats right away. You might scare others, but you can't scare me." As the beast charged, Kan Min simultaneously rushed towards it. The Blade Tiger pack leader, wreathed in streams of dark red light, lunged at Kan Min with its claws extended. His tall, lean body nimbly dodged all of its attacks. Having missed its target, the vicious beast shot him a resentful glare. Kan Min gripped the spear shaft tightly with both hands, his body poised to channel power for a strike. The spear slammed down forcefully on the giant creature's forehead, smashing it hard against the pavement. He flipped the sharp spearhead downwards, his shadow obscuring part of his face, revealing only one cold, gleaming eye. Fresh blood splattered everywhere, and at the same time, the system's notification chimed, "Killed one Tier 1 high-rank Blade Tiger plus 20 psionic points." Min Duong, witnessing it all, was so horrified he couldn't believe his eyes, his voice trembling unconsciously. No way he finished them all in one go. What kind of monster is he? Kan Min glanced down at the corpse on the ground, a slight smile playing on his lips as he calculated, "This haul of psionic points is a real jackpot at this rate. I wonder how many psionic points I can accumulate by the time the college entrance exam is over." He turned to leave, intending to find other targets. The more the better. I should quickly find the next group of psionic beasts. But before he could get far, Min Duong's panicked shout made Kan Min slow his pace. "Wait! How on earth could you crush that pack of Blade Tigers with just a long spear? Are you an enhancement-type psionic?" As he leaped onto the roof of a nearby building, he answered the other guy, "No, I'm a lightning type." But that answer didn't satisfy him. Min Duong clenched his fists, grinding his teeth in anger. A lightning type? Are you kidding me? Even if you don't want to tell me you're psionic type, you don't have to be so dismissive. What a nasty guy." Then, as if suddenly realizing something, he frantically opened the system interface and muttered to himself, "He killed so many ferocious beasts just now, his score couldn't be about to catch up to mine, could it?" The familiar blue leaderboard appeared before his eyes, and Min Duong's scream echoed through the streets littered with beast corpses. Rank 1, Hua Kan Min, 1,122 points. Jiang Tan, number 2, High School, rank 2, Chu Min Duong, 985 points. Jiang Tan, number 1, High School. It's been completely reversed. The viewers watching the live broadcast in the auditorium were also stunned. Van Son stood before the large screen, applauding in admiration. High-level spearmanship, truly impressive. Hua Kan Min isn't even 18 years old, and he's already mastered high-level spearmanship. It's certain now he is the real deal, a true genius. He placed a hand on Trio Dieu's shoulder and said warmly, "With Hua Kan Min here, he can definitely represent Jiang Tan in the provincial top 100 after the college entrance exam ends. I will propose to the city that number 2 high school be rewarded." Hearing this, the man immediately replied with delight, "Thank you, Director Truong." Trio Dieu raised a hand to wipe a tear from behind his glasses, his heart filled with indescribable joy. Hua Kan Min, what a huge, unexpected blessing. Our number 2 high school finally has a chance to turn things around. The sunset gradually enveloped the buildings 3 hours later in the central district. Min Duong looked around in confusion. What's the situation? Where have all the ferocious beasts in the central district gone? While he was still wondering, footsteps approached from behind, and a voice said, "You'll have to ask the guy at the top about that." The appearance of this group caught Min Duong's attention. "Why are you guys all grouped up and moving together?" The large-bodied man awkwardly raised a hand in greeting. Rank 3. Ngo Hao Duong Ki, standing next to him, continued, "This is also his doing. Rank 9 Duong Ki." The petite girl standing in front of the two men spoke in a sharp, loud voice. Rank 4. Manda Hua Kan Min has already wiped out all the ferocious beasts in the central district. None of us could find any, so we had no choice but to group up and act together. Min Duong couldn't process this answer right away. His eyes widened and his jaw dropped. That's impossible. There was no shortage of ferocious beasts in the Central District. Duong Qi wasn't too surprised by his reaction. She pointed to the watch on her left wrist. I can tell you haven't looked at the leaderboard in a while here. Just look at Hua Kan Min's score and you'll understand. The content displayed on the interface left Min Duong even more astonished. Rank 1 Hua Kan Min, 3,435 points. Jiang Tan, number 2 high school rank. Tu Chu Min Duong, 1,103 points. Jiang Tan, number 1 high school rank. 3 Ngo Hao, 945 points. Jiang Tan, number 1 high school. His voice stuttered uncontrollably. 3,400 something points. Seeing Min Duong cover his face with one hand in despair, Duong Qi sighed. Now you know why, right? Subtracting the more than 700 points he got in the inner zone, that still leaves over 2,500 points. In other words, he single-handedly eliminated nearly 200 ferocious beasts in the Central District. Through the gaps in his fingers, Min Duong's eyes rolled back. A drop of sweat trickled down his temple as he suddenly understood. No wonder Hua Kan Min was so afraid of having his kills stolen earlier. It turns out he was planning to do this all along. The group of 3 looked at Min Duong in unison. Duong Qi spoke first. There are only a few hours left until the combat exam ends. We plan to form a team and try our luck in the deepest part of the Central District. Her plan made him shudder in horror. The lowest level ferocious beasts. There are Tier 1 high rank. There might even be a Tier 2. Beast King going in alone is no different from suicide. Manda confidently cracked her knuckles to warm up a confident smirk on her face. That's why we have to team up. Are you in or not with the situation as it is? Min Duong immediately replied in a loud, clear voice. Count me in. A crescent moon hung high in the starry night sky. Kan Min sat on the corpse of a ferocious beast, or more accurately, on a mountain of ferocious beast corpses, his spear stuck in the ground beside him. Taking a bite of food, his eyes were filled with contemplation. Kan Min muttered his calculations. The supplies are all used up, and the combat exam has entered its final stage. A faint light coiled around the spear as he secretly planned under the moonlight. To get more supernatural points, I have to go deeper, but in the deepest central area, there is a level 2 fierce beast, so I need to increase my strength a little more. The system interface displayed Kan Min's stats. Awakened rank, supernatural ability, purple firmament, divine thunderous physique, 181. Vitality plus spirit, 182. Hertz plus skill. Advanced spearmanship plus lightning swift windbreak. Supernatural points, 2,413. He repeated the last number in his mind, 2,413 supernatural points. He smiled happily, placing his finger on the interface panel while eating. What should I add points to? Let's add them to this. Lightning crackled around the long spear shaft. He held the spear in one hand, the other resting on the corpse of the fierce beast below. This time I should be able to handle the final challenge of the martial exam. The group of 4 hurried along the shattered road. The final sprint had begun. In the far distance, a colossal figure larger than all the fierce beasts before it gradually came into view. Kan Min rested the spear on his shoulder, his gaze fixed on the distance. A smile full of anticipation played on his lips. I wonder what kind of level 2 fierce beast the martial exam has arranged this time. The group stood there, their eyes filled with astonishment and fear, as if they had seen something utterly terrifying. The bloodthirsty tyrant bear before them growled menacingly, its eyes glowing a fiery red. A panicked voice cried out, "It's actually a bloodthirsty tyrant bear." The bloodthirsty tyrant bear moved its massive, cumbersome body forward. It swung its claws, swatting away obstacles in its path. Heavy cars were effortlessly sent flying. Chu Min Duong put a hand to his face, his eyes squeezed shut as he sighed. This is going to be troublesome. Manda, standing beside him, couldn't help but grimace uncomfortably. A rare fierce beast, its hide and fur are as tough as E-grade alloy. Even rockets can't penetrate it. A single swipe of its paw could crush all of us. Duong Qi watched the bloodthirsty tyrant bear's movements, her face unable to hide her anxiety. I think we should just give up on this operation. Looking down from the rooftop at the swarm of large, ferocious beasts gathered below, Duong Qi continued. We don't even need the bloodthirsty tyrant bear to act. The moment we enter the residential area, I'm afraid these high-rank level 1 beasts will wipe our whole group out. She turned to leave decisively without any hesitation. Before going, she glanced back and waved, I'm retreating. It doesn't matter how many points you get if you lose your life. Min Duong didn't answer her, but just clenched his fists and yelled, what kind of bastard came up with such a twisted exam question? But Manda's sudden voice made Duong Qi stop in her tracks. Look quickly, someone's here! The name that was spoken made her whip her head around, her eyes filled with surprise. It's Hua Kan-min. An agile figure moved swiftly through the ruined streets. Kan-min held a long spear in one hand, using the other to effortlessly vault over a wall. The landing was incredibly steady and graceful. He looked up, revealing his face to the group. Mont De leaned on the railing, her face full of excitement. "So that's Hua Kan-min, he's so handsome." Hearing this, Min Duong put his hands on his hips in displeasure. What good is being handsome rushing into a pack of fierce beasts like that? Isn't he just looking for death? The sudden appearance of a human agitated the pack of fierce beasts, which immediately charged towards him. Someone exclaimed in shock, "Oh no, he's alerted the beast pack." However, the figure effortlessly swung the spear in his hand, cutting through the ferocious beasts and sending fresh blood splattering. The fierce beasts continued to charge ferociously at Kan-min one after another. They surrounded him from all sides, the small human figure completely encircled by the fierce beasts. Large, sharp claws descended, overwhelming the tiny human form. The people watching from the rooftop couldn't help but be horrified. Hua Kan-min isn't going to die just like that, is he? He's too reckless. If he dies, he brought it on himself. No seeing the dire situation, Duong Kai anxiously turned around. "I have to go help him." Seeing her determination, Go Hao grew anxious. "Are you crazy too? Going down there is suicide?" Mande also panicked and quickly grabbed Duong Ki's arm. "That's right, have you forgotten what you just said?" But she kept struggling to break free from Mande's grip, shouting, "You guys don't understand, Hua Kan. Min is my cousin. I can't just stand by and watch him die." Meanwhile, from beneath the massive claws of the beast pack, purple sparks of electricity continuously shot out. The lightning suddenly erupted with such violence that it forced the group on the edge of the building to retreat. The blinding light forced Min Duong to raise a hand to shield his eyes. This lightning, could it be the lightning-type supernatural ability that Hua Kan-min mentioned? A figure holding a spear emerged from the purple lightning. It was Hua Kan-min, whom they had thought was as good as dead. The massive bodies of the beasts lay scattered and motionless with streaks of blood covering the ground. Kan-min stood calmly amidst the corpses, his tone casual. Trying to deal with so many high-rank level 1 fierce beasts using only physical strength is still a bit of a stretch. I had no choice but to use my supernatural ability. The corners of his mouth curved into a slight smile as he looked at his raised fingertip around which sparks of electricity coiled. As expected of an S-rank ability, it's truly domineering and incredibly powerful. As Kan-min stood leaning on his spear after the victory, something caught his attention. A massive figure with snow-white fur loomed over Kan-min's head. A shadow fell over him, obscuring half of his face and making his expression unreadable. The bloodthirsty tyrant bear ferociously extended its claws, opened its maw wide to reveal sharp fangs, and roared at Kan-min. Facing the colossal figure, he showed no fear. Kan-min calmly analyzed the situation. The bloodthirsty tyrant bear's body is huge and lacks agility. With the enhancement from the Nine Thunders' divine punishment, I might be able to handle it. His eyes then shifted to the smaller beasts flanking the bloodthirsty tyrant bear, and Kan-min said aloud, "But if we fight, these minions will likely be a real nuisance." As if having made an important decision, Kan-min lowered his head slightly, his eyes downcast. "If that's the case." When he opened his eyes again, his expression was cold and sharp, the lightning around him intensifying. "Then I'll clean up first." Kan-min pushed off the ground with both feet, launching himself forward with powerful force. With the spear in hand, he knitted his brows and charged forward at high speed. The gleaming spear tip stabbed and swept through a high-blade tiger, sending its hot blood splattering. Without stopping, Kan-min's agile figure moved on, sweeping through the fierce beasts. The system announced killed 1 high-rank level 1 fierce beast phantom cat, supernatural points plus 13. His bangs flew back from his rapid movement, a confident smile on his face. So this is the strengthening power of an S-rank ability on one's physical energy. Unfortunately, the rampaging thunder in my body is also extremely dangerous. I can't maintain this state for long. However, the spear in his hand swept out in a wide arc as Kan-min's calm voice declared, "It's more than enough to take care of you beasts." He landed lightly as a large head thudded to the ground, accompanied by a notification killed a 1-horned rhino high-rank level 1 fierce beast, supernatural points plus 15. The massive claw of the bloodthirsty tyrant bear swiped down its eyes, flashing a fiery red. Kan-min faced the creature without flinching, his gaze so calm it was almost indifferent. The sharp claws slammed into the road, sending shards of rock flying everywhere. As the dust from the bloodthirsty tyrant bear's strike settled, the tall, slender figure was nowhere to be seen. Kan-min had dodged the attack, moving to the side with astonishing speed. Locating its prey, the bloodthirsty tyrant bear immediately charged towards him on all fours. Purple lightning flashed from Kan Min's body as he leaped cleanly out of the way. Then, at a speed nearly invisible to the naked eye, Kan Min zipped past the pack of fierce beasts. Flashes of golden light from his spear tip appeared one after another on the bodies of the ferocious beasts. Along with this system, notifications rang out non-stop. Killed a one-horned rhino, high-rank level 1 fierce beast. Supernatural points plus 15. Killed a high-rank level 1 fierce beast. The red glow in the bloodthirsty tyrant bear's eyes grew even brighter, revealing razor-sharp teeth in its wide-open mouth. Kan Min stood his ground, giving it a provocative look. "What's wrong? Are you angry that your little underlings are being killed off?" Leaving long streaks of lightning in his wake, he charged towards a nearby rhino. "Don't be hasty. After I'm done with this last one, it'll be your turn." The bloodthirsty tyrant bear followed Kan Min's figure with its crimson eyes. Its face contorted with ferocity and bloodlust as it slammed its claws down. Its massive body suddenly appeared behind the rhino he was targeting. Witnessing this, Kan Min's face couldn't help but show a trace of surprise. Not bad, it actually predicted my move. The bloodthirsty tyrant bear clapped its paws together, causing a golden light to flash. Under that powerful slap, the surrounding obstacles were instantly sent flying. Two massive claws spread open, and where the rhinoceros had stood just a moment ago, only a pool of fresh blood remained. Meanwhile, Kan Min had launched himself into the air right behind the bloodthirsty tyrant's neck. His brows furrowed tightly, and a corner of his mouth curled into an excited smile. "Finally, no more distractions from the small fry. Let me see for myself if your armor-like fur can truly block my myriad army's thunder." Kan Min focused all his lightning into the tip of his spear, aiming straight for the bloodthirsty tyrant's head. In less than a moment, a colossal wave of energy erupted, spreading violently through the area. A strong wind swept across the rooftop, causing Duong Qi and her friends to stagger, forcing them to hold onto the wall to keep their balance. The live broadcast screen in the control room showing this scene also astonished everyone, who gasped in unison at the magnificent power. Van Son even knocked over his thermos, his eyes wide. "Principal Trio, you call this an E-rank ability. You're not pulling my leg, are you?" Hai Bin, standing behind, chimed in with a questioning tone. "Just based on that burst of ability, he can quickly eliminate a group of high-tier level 1 feral beasts, and even vaguely fight on par with a level 2 boss. Even an A-rank ability would struggle to do that right. But Trio 2 didn't know for sure. He could only scratch his head and guess, perhaps it's a mutated ability." Hearing this, Van Son turned back, laughing excitedly. "But no matter what, after today, perhaps the entire building will be shaken by Hua Kan Min." Returning to the examination field after that terrifying shockwave, the bloodthirsty tyrant only had a bit of its fur singed, emitting a burnt smell. But just that was enough to completely enrage it, causing the beast to roar like thunder. Kan Min, standing directly before that powerful roar, quickly flipped backward, dodging in an instant, so it was only a superficial wound. As he thought this, he landed lightly on the ground. Kan Min looked up quickly, analyzing in his mind. As expected of a rare species among level 2 feral beasts, its fur is impenetrable. The key is that it doesn't conduct electricity. With my current strength, trying to kill a bloodthirsty tyrant bear 2 levels above me in one hit is indeed a bit of a stretch. As he was thinking, the bloodthirsty tyrant bear's appearance on the other side suddenly underwent a great change. It entered a berserk state, its entire body radiating a black aura. Seeing this, Kan Min couldn't help but exclaim in surprise, "What?" The bloodthirsty tyrant bear gave him no time to react, immediately planting its feet to build momentum. Immediately after, it charged forward, seething with rage. The bloodthirsty tyrant bear's heavy body slammed down, and the path beneath it instantly cracked open. Kan Min was knocked back by the shower of earth and rock. But he quickly stabilized himself. It's already activated its berserk skill so soon it seems the bloodthirsty tyrant bear really hates my guts. And that was indeed the truth. Its 2 red eyes were locked onto Kan Min. Next, the bloodthirsty tyrant bear raised its head and let out a furious roar. It went crazy, relentlessly attacking wildly with its claws. Seeing this, he used his agility, dodging left, then leaping to the right. But the bloodthirsty tyrant bear's assault was too ferocious, and Kan Min was soon forced into a position where he couldn't get close. With no other choice, he could only turn and flee with his precious spear in hand. Even at a time like this, he still had the presence of mind to look back and assess. Truly astonishing. When a feral beast enters its berserk state, its power gets a huge upgrade. Dodging another attack, Kan Min quickly analyzed in his mind. But in exchange, it completely loses what little intelligence it had, becoming a killing machine that acts on instinct. I should avoid it head-on for now. The best way is to rely on agility and circle around it. He bent his knees using friction to stop himself from sliding backward. Kan Min's hand holding the spear secretly tightened, then he took the opportunity to temporarily disable it. Therefore, while dodging, he deliberately snuck up behind the bloodthirsty tyrant bear. The spear tip gathered power once more, then decisively stabbed into its rear. This caused the bloodthirsty tyrant bear so much pain that it collapsed to its knees on the ground. Seeing this, Kan Min immediately summoned lightning to add more damage. 9 heavens divine annihilation. His raised hand suddenly dropped, accompanied by a loud shout, "Explode for me!" The moment he spoke, a purple bolt of lightning struck the bloodthirsty tyrant bear directly. It cried out endlessly in pain amidst the thunderstorm. After an unknown amount of time, the bloodthirsty tyrant bear finally lay flat on the ground. Seeing this, Kan Min walked over smugly. Hit by the divine annihilation for over half a minute, no matter how thick its defense is, it couldn't possibly withstand it, right? But just as he finished his thought, the bloodthirsty tyrant bear, which seemed to have kicked the bucket, suddenly opened its eyes. It sprang up at its fastest speed and launched a decisive blow. But the bloodthirsty tyrant bear's charge could only stop an arm's length away from Kan Min, because for some unknown reason its body was suddenly paralyzed and couldn't move. Only then did he sigh softly, "It's time." Kan Min spun his long spear, slowly activating his ability Lightning Flash. His eyes also turned a cold purple gale. A ball of lightning gathered at the tip of the spear. Kan Min timed it perfectly and shouted loudly, "Break!" The bloodthirsty tyrant bear, having lost its reason, only knew how to charge forward, wanting to meet force with force. And the final result, of course, was it being sent flying backward by Kan Min. Its colossal body slid a long way, shrouding the area behind it in smoke and fire. After a while, as the smoke gradually cleared, the bloodthirsty tyrant bear's body reappeared. A large hole had been blown through its abdomen, and a notification sounded accordingly. Killed 1 low-tier level 2 bloodthirsty tyrant bear, ability points plus 24. Kan Min, holding his spear, squatted on the ground, somewhat exhausted. "It's finally over. To deal with this guy, I specially upgraded the lightning gale break from beginner to advanced. Its power really doesn't disappoint." Though he was panting with exhaustion, his eyes shone with delight. Even though it was only a short 2 minutes, it was the most intense battle I've ever experienced. After his breathing stabilized a bit, Kan Min turned to look at the watch on his wrist. "I wonder how many points I can get for killing all the feral beasts in the central area." That aspiration was heard by the moon in the sky. And so the scene changed to a certain high-rise building. At this moment, the screen inside was displaying the contestants' score statistics. First place, Hua Kan Min, 10,835 points, Jiangtan City No. 2 High School. Second place, Chu Min Duong, 1,103 points, Jiangtan City No. 1 High School. Third place, Nuo Hao, 945 points, Jiangtan City No. 1 High School. Seeing this, everyone in the meeting room couldn't help but exclaim, "Over 10,000 points, that score is truly unbelievable." Van Son was one of them. 10,000 points. Not only did he break our Jiangtan City's record, he also broke the record for Jiangnam Province of Genius. No, a genius among geniuses. Looking at the image of Kan Min on the screen, someone couldn't help but murmur softly, "Last year's provincial champion only had a little over 8,000 points. Hua Kan Min can be considered the predetermined provincial champion for this year's class." Standing amidst a pile of beast corpses, Kan Min looked at his watch and muttered softly, "There's not much time left." He quickly calculated in his head, "I've already killed all the feral beasts in the inner circle and the central area. Next, I'll go back to the middle area. I'll kill as many as I can. Every little bit counts." Thinking this, he turned and left, completely oblivious to Duong Kai's group emerging from behind. She watched his departing back and sighed softly. He actually killed a level 2 beast king. That's truly surprising. But Min Duong noticed something else. Why is he going back? His score is already number 1. Why not end the exam early? What more does he want to do? Manda, standing beside them, offered her own speculation. Judging by his direction, it seems he wants to go back to the middle area. As she said this, she seemed to realize something. Wait a minute. Don't tell me he's on a killing spree and wants to wipe them all out. These words struck Duong Kai's group like a bolt of lightning, a complete annihilation. Min Duong immediately became anxious. "With Hua Kan Min's speed, I'm afraid he can actually do it. If we don't go now, in the last hour, we might not even get a single point. Our team will end here. Everyone, I'm going ahead." Seeing this, Duong Ki and her companion also rushed off quickly. "Hurry up!" In the end, only Mande was left standing there, holding her sword and shouting, "Hey, save some points for me." A look of firm determination flashed in Min Duong's eyes. 1 hour later, the announcement rang out right on time. The Martial Arts Department's college entrance exam for the 2037 cohort of Jiangcheng has concluded. Beasts slain from now on will not be scored. Candidates, please return quickly. The announcement continued. All candidates, please pay attention, Jiangcheng. Tang Chi didn't bother listening to the rest because she was too exhausted to even breathe. It's over. The examination hall began to grow noisy. Some were happy, but many more were sad. How could it be over? I was just one beast short, just one more beast, and I would have met the standard that was close. I passed. Jingming, with his spear slung over his shoulder, felt a little regretful. It ended so quickly. What a pity I haven't had my fill yet. Candidates began to walk out of the examination hall's gates, one after another. The injured candidates were all diligently cared for by the medical teams. Meanwhile, Tang Chi was being pestered by Xiao Ya, who was pulling her arm. "Qi, is this Xu Jingming really your cousin?" she answered helplessly once more. "For heaven's sake, you've already asked 3 times. It's him. It's really him." Hearing that, she immediately pointed to her own face and recommended herself. "Well, sis, can you please give me your cousin's contact information? I'm begging you." Tang Chi crossed her arms, feigning arrogance. "Weren't you uninterested yesterday now? I have to think about it." Xiao Ya, at her side, immediately clasped her hands and apologized. "Today is different from before today. He is the top scorer of the martial arts exam. Please." Just then, the surrounding crowd suddenly rushed in one direction. Look quickly, it's Xu Jingming coming out of the examination hall. They jostled and pushed, all wanting to see what this year's top scorer looked like. Where, brother, don't push. Let me see first." It was in this kind of situation that Jingming slowly walked out. The light shining on him made him look like a star walking the red carpet. Seeing Jingming approach, the crowd immediately became even more clamorous. "Xu Jingming, congratulations. Look over here, Xu Jingming. Can you spare me 100 points? Faced with this situation, he simply smiled and waved in response. Seeing this, Wu Hao felt it was a bit unfair. The person standing in this position should have been you, but Ming Yang was very philosophical about it. Who could have guessed a prodigy would appear out of nowhere? With my strength being able to get this score, I'm already satisfied. On the other side, Zhao Yao had come over to act as an intermediary. Classmate Xu Jingming, congratulations. Let me introduce you. This is Director Zhao of the Education Bureau. Jingming politely greeted him. "Hello, Director." The man immediately stated his purpose. "You don't need to take the bus back. The director said he wants to see you off personally." Hearing this, he glanced at the crowd behind him. "All right, taking the bus back now. I probably wouldn't get any peace with all the questions on the way." Soon after, a black sedan was speeding down the road. Inside the car, Wen Shan was asking gently classmate Jingming, "Have you thought about which superpower university you want to go to?" Jingming answered honestly, "During this period, all I've been thinking about is improving my strength. I really haven't considered which superpower university to attend." Hearing this, the man immediately beamed with joy. "With your results, getting into any university in the country is a piece of cake. But there are hundreds of universities and colleges in the country. Yet high-level ability users, more than half of them, graduate from the 3 major universities. I'd like to introduce these 3. Wen Shan began to introduce them in detail. Qingjing Superpower University, located in the heartland of Daxia, is government-affiliated. After graduation, you can directly enter the system. The current Level 9 nation-suppressing guardian graduated from here. Then he moved on to another school, Modu Superpower University. Located in a bustling port city, it can provide extremely good resources, including many elite societies, and is more suitable for individuals who pursue the top. Next, Wen Shan mentioned the last school, the historically rich Jincheng Superpower University, founded 200 years ago. It possesses many ancient legacies and a strong faculty. These 3 universities all possess exclusive top-tier superpower cultivation methods. They are a holy land pursued by countless students. After listening, Jingming asked his question. "I know that awakened ones need to practice training methods to become ability users, but what is a top-tier superpower cultivation method?" He was very willing to explain. "Let me put it this way for you. Superpower training methods are also divided into tiers using a basic superpower training method. Most awakened ones need 3 to 4 years to advance and become an ability user. But with a top-tier superpower training method, it only takes half a year to allow an awakened one to transform into an ability user." At this point, Wen Shan patted Jingming's shoulder reassuringly. "Don't worry with your results. You will definitely be eligible for special recruitment at that time. Even the top 3 universities will offer you favorable conditions. You can just choose according to your own wishes." Hearing that, he nodded obediently. "I understand, thank you, sir." As the conversation ended, the car quickly blended into the city night. The scene shifts to the next day. A hand casually turns off the faucet. Jingming shook his head slightly, sending water droplets flying from his hair. Only now was he in the mood to open his own interface. Shu Jingming, Awakened Zixiao, Divine Lightning Vitality, 183, plus 185. He Spearmanship Advanced, plus Electric Gale Breaker, Advanced plus Ability Points, 2,534. As he looked, Jingming quickly calculated 2,534 ability points should be enough to last until I enter a superpower university. His body finally relaxed. He walked out of the bathroom humming, I wonder if there will be beast-slaying matches at the superpower university. If not, I'll need to make arrangements to go to the wilderness. At this moment outside the front door, Tang Chi and Jingming's youngest aunt were standing there. How is this door broken just in time to sneak in and give Shu Jingming a surprise? So very quickly, his youngest aunt Shu Qingwan pushed the door open and entered while she shouted from behind Jingming's surprise. He who was wearing only a towel at that moment was startled. Auntie cousin, why are you two here? Tang Chi's face turned beet red and she even stammered, Shu Jingming, what are you doing? As he ran into his room, he retorted loudly, how can you blame me for this among the three? Only Qingwan was calmly assessing the surroundings. I haven't been here in a few days. How did this house get like this? Under the hanging light, Jingming rarely thought back to his childhood when his mother had just passed away. It was his youngest aunt who stayed with him day and night, meticulously caring for him, bringing warmth to his home, fulfilling the duties of a guardian, and occasionally feeding him some stir-fried pork with bamboo shoots. As he was thinking about this, his aunt suddenly called out Xiao Ming. Qingwan's voice was sincere and loving. I don't know much about the martial arts exam, but when I first heard you wanted to sign up, I was worried for a long time. Now that I see you're okay, I can finally rest assured your results don't matter. It's fine even if you didn't pass. Hearing this, he turned his head in confusion and asked, didn't Cousin Chi tell you, Auntie? Tang Chi gave a playful wink. I thought it would be better to let you tell my mom yourself. Jingming rubbed his nose a bit shyly. Auntie, I didn't do too bad this time. I got 10,000 points. As soon as the words left his mouth, Qingwan spat out all the water she had just drunk. But she had no time to worry about that and just asked urgently, how much you're not tricking me? Are you hearing this? Tang Chi confirmed, Mom, it's true. Cousin Jingming scored 1,124 points. Qingguan's body immediately trembled with excitement. The three of them stared at each other, but no one said another word. She leaned gently into Jingming's chest and cried loudly, our Shu family finally has a successor. Your parents in heaven will definitely be proud of you. Meanwhile, on another side, Chao Yue was holding a meeting with her subordinates. Shu Jingming, 18 years old, awakened a weak level 2 electric-type ability of the natural system rank awakened. Fang Jun pointed at the screen and immediately stated his opinion. If the results are real, we must get this student. Li Jie sitting beside him was a bit hesitant, but judging by his talent and level on paper, he fundamentally couldn't have achieved this score. Soon, others joined the discussion, looking at his combat performance. His awakened ability absolutely cannot be E rank. That kind of power is at least A rank, maybe even S rank, a small 18th tier city like Jiangcheng. How could it produce a top scorer? Maybe he used some illegal means in the exam, a substitute taker using performance-enhancing drugs. It's not impossible. After everyone had argued enough, Chao Yue spoke up again. All right, stop arguing. She immediately slammed the table and made a decision for now place Shu Jingming as a specially recruited S-rank student. As for whether his results are real or not, I will personally go to Jiangcheng to investigate. After an unknown amount of time, the exam result message was sent. Jiangnan Provincial Education Bureau Jiangcheng candidate Shu Jingming. The Jiangnan Province Martial Arts Exam rankings have been announced. Your rank is first place in Jiangnan Province, total score 1,124 points. Jingming held his phone, his face beaming with joy. He clenched his fist and shouted, Number 1, the top scorer of Jiangnan Province, I did it. Very quickly, all the newspapers began to report the dark horse from the provincial champion of Jiangcheng City, an unprecedented awakened in history. Who on earth is Hua Kanjmin is the provincial champion with an E-rank ability, a matter of talent or of effort and sweat. Seeing this news, many people were impressed, but there was no shortage of doubters. Aren't provincial champions normally high-tier level 1 ability? Users, an awakened, can also become the provincial champion. An awakened with an E-rank ability can become the provincial champion. If this is true, I'll eat shit right here. Hey, upstairs, you just wait. I'm gonna find the video of his martial arts college entrance exam right now. Following these words, the scene shifted to the celebration ceremony at Kanmin's school. On the red banner, a few words were neatly displayed: award ceremony for outstanding students of the 2025 Jiangcheng City No. 2 High School Martial Arts Examination. At this moment, the reporters were scrambling to ask questions Principal Zhao regarding the doubts about student Hua's achievements online. Is there anything you'd like to say? Many people are saying it was an inside job, questioning the authenticity of his score. Please give us an explanation, Principal Zhao. Zhao Du slightly adjusted the microphone and slowly spoke. Our school's official website has posted the video of Hua Kan Min's martial arts exam. Everyone can now go and verify its authenticity. The fairness of the martial arts college entrance exam cannot be questioned. Hearing this, the people below immediately took out their phones to check. Damn, one spear thrust pierced through the bone of a level 1 one-horned rhino. This strength is even greater than a level 1 ability user, right? It looks like it's similar to an enhancement type ability. No, how can he be a lightning type? You're telling me this power is E rank, and moreover, he really is just an awakened. The man on the stage continued to announce the award with the video of the martial arts exam as proof student Hua's achievement is completely true. He is the first student from Jiangcheng City to win the provincial championship in the martial arts exam. His contribution is worthy of reward. Zhao Du pulled down the red cloth to reveal the plaque in Tran Fam's hands. Congratulations to student Hua Kan Min for winning the provincial championship in the martial arts exam. A special award is presented. Then he continued to shout in a loud voice, "This is the cash and the grand gift of an ability training method that the city's education bureau is awarding to student Hua. The government will also gift a luxurious villa in the city and a monetary prize." The reporters below once again snapped photos furiously. Quick take. A picture, put it on the front page. Triunenguye, standing from a distance, also heard these words, but a bit of doubt still lingered in her heart, although Jiangcheng has released the video of Hua Kan Min's martial arts exam. It doesn't mean he didn't use cheating drugs. The most crucial thing is still to determine the rank of Hua Kan Min's ability. Meanwhile, on the other side, Zhao Du and another person were whispering, "Why isn't today's main character here?" Yet I just called and asked. He said he's still training at the martial arts hall. He'll be over soon. Hearing this, the man couldn't help but sigh again. Still training after the martial arts exam ended, this new champion is truly different. The ceremony outside had ended, but Zhao Du was still busy. "Teachers, please have some tea." Facing the people in this room, his entire body was trembling. Zhao Du lamented inwardly as expected of high-level ability users who have seen blood this aura they're emitting. It makes one tremble in fear. In his mind, a series of ferocious images of the 4 great divine beasts flashed by, and all of them were directing their sharp gazes towards Zhao Du. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but clutch the tray tightly. These people aren't going to start a fight, are they? On the other side, Zhang Triunenguye, the admissions director of Meidu Special Ability University, had already started the conversation. "You two? It seems we haven't sat together like this for a long time. Which genius has caught your eye this time?" Su Yun, the admissions director of Tonkin Special Ability University, was not to be outdone, Director Zhang. "No need to play dumb. As long as this score of Hua Kan Min's is real, our Kent University will definitely take him." Hearing this, Ngo Yen, the head of admissions for Tandan Special Ability University, let out a faint laugh. "So, Yun, on what grounds do you say you can take him just because you want to?" "I'm saying our Tandan University will definitely take him." Triunenguye couldn't help but feel a headache as she looked at the two glaring at each other as expected for the special recruitment of a provincial champion. It's unavoidable to draw swords with teachers from other academies. Right at this moment, the door to the room was pushed open by a hand. Kanj Min walked in naturally carrying his spear. "Hello, teachers." Hearing this, the 3 of them, including Triunenguye, followed the sound and looked over. She secretly nodded in satisfaction. Not bad, full of spirit. The spear and the person are one. It seems he hasn't slacked off at all after the exam. Moreover, under the aura of high-level ability users, he remains completely unfazed. Zhao Du came over to make the introductions. "Allow me to introduce you. This is Director Zhang, the admissions director of Meidu Special Ability University, Director Su. The admissions director of Tonkin Special Ability University, and Teacher Ngo, the head of admissions for Tanthan Special Ability University." After the greetings, Triunenguye immediately stood up. "Student Huai, we have all seen the video of your martial arts exam. Your practical combat ability is very strong, and your fighting skills are also exceptionally outstanding." Speaking up to this point, her gaze suddenly became sharp. "But I have a question. Your ability doesn't seem to be the E-rank weak electricity you initially registered. Could you please elaborate on the specific situation?" Kan Min was already mentally prepared as expected. They're asking about this, so he answered very calmly. "Before the exam, while I was training at home, I was struck by natural lightning. After that, I noticed my ability had become stronger." Hearing this, a bit more determination appeared in the eyes of Su Yun and the other man. "It sounds like an ability mutation. On the other side, Triangulet was still probing student Hua. Perhaps you still don't know what your ability is after the mutation. Right as it happens, I brought an ability scanner with me. You can give it a try. She carefully guided him step by step. Just unleash your ability. And Kan Min obediently brought his hand close to that circle. As streaks of lightning flashed, Su Yun's expression instantly became excited. What berserk lightning, even I'm a little scared. On the other side, the circle began to announce the results. Ability scan complete. Ability name is Purple Firmament Divine Thunder Rating. At this point, the electronic sound suddenly became choppy rating. Then it slowly started to crack. A second later, the circle shattered into several pieces. Kan Min and the others were all startled by this sudden event and retreated backward. Su Yun and the other man couldn't help but jump up from their chairs. Zhao Du, standing to the side, couldn't believe his eyes. What is this situation? Contrary to him, Ngo Uyen on the other side had already clenched his fist. It's confirmed this time Su Yun didn't bother to hide her joy to actually overload a small-scale scanner. Then his rank must definitely be at least S rank. Triangulet also curled her lips slightly. Not bad indeed. This time it seems my bet was a profitable one. Ngo Uyen immediately stepped forward and loudly listed his school's offer student Hua Artan Special Ability University's enrollment reward is 4 million and a CA rank equipment set for 4 years of university. All ability training methods and combat skills will be completely free. As soon as his words fell, Su Yun from behind spoke with disdain. You think you can get him with just that little stuff? She pushed Ngo Uyen aside student Hua. As long as you come to Then the enrollment reward is 6 million equipment for all 4 years of university ability training methods, combat skills of your choice, all completely free. How about it? Hearing this, Kan Min couldn't help but exclaim in his heart, so generous. Faced with such strong competitors, Triangulet was not flustered. Madu Special Ability University does not provide cash rewards and equipment, but the cultivation methods and combat skills they can give you. We have no shortage of either. In addition, we will provide 1 portion of S-rank cultivation resources every year. As soon as these words came out, both Su Yun and the other man were simultaneously shocked. S-rank cultivation resources. Kan Min also turned his head and asked curiously, what is that? Triangulet stepped forward and slowly explained, do you know about the dragon-type ferocious beasts, a clan of ferocious beasts that resemble dragons and are innately powerful? They are called the dragon-type. As he listened, he imagined it in his head, this type of ferocious beast born at level 4 or level 5, far surpassing other clans of ferocious beasts. She stood with her hands on her hips and proudly explained, among the S-rank resources, it is extracted from the blood of a level 8 dragon-type ferocious beast. After using the dragon blood, one's physical strength will receive a massive upgrade with bodily toughness comparable to a dragon-type ferocious beast. Every single portion of S-rank resources is of this dragon blood level. After hearing this, Su Yun held her forehead and sighed. You've said it to the point where even I'm tempted. You people from Madu are truly rich. Ngo Uyen's face also became distorted. Rank resources are normally used on outstanding final-year students. She's actually willing to give it to a freshman. This is completely unbeatable. After having stated their offers, the 3 of them stood forward together to await the result. All right, it's time for you to make your decision of our 3 top universities. Which one do you choose? And obviously Kan Min said without a moment of hesitation, I choose Madu Special Ability University. Jingming was utterly astonished. He immediately thought of the school's advantages. Magic City Psionic University not only offered the best conditions, but from what he knew, its level of practical combat training was also the highest in every session of the Inter-University League tournament. More than half of the champions came from Magic City Psionic University. He respectfully bowed to the 2 people before him to express his gratitude, thanking the 2 teachers for their high regard. Standing nearby, Chao Yue saw this and took a red card from her ring. She handed the card to Jingming while reminding him of things to note. Student Xu Jingming, we look forward to your arrival. Our school's enrollment period for new students is on September 1st, but as a specially recruited student, you can arrive and enroll early. We will provide a dormitory for you. He took the card and glanced at Chao Yue, asking curiously, can I look up psionic training methods and combat techniques in the library in advance? Hearing this, she pulled out a card and gave it to him, instructing him carefully, no problem, our school's library can provide you with a private study room to avoid any disturbances. This is my contact information. Just contact me when you get to Magic City. Jingming looked at the card in his hand, his voice full of anticipation, revealing his thoughts. Magic City Psionic University, I'm already looking forward to enrolling. The next day, he and his family went to the ticket gate. The train station's announcement echoed in his ears. Train number 691 to Magic City will now begin boarding train. Number 691 to Magic City will now begin boarding. Ching-wan was moved to tears and remarked emotionally, "The child has finally grown up beside her." A man hugged her. It was Tang Daolin Shu Jingming's uncle. The uncle looked at his wife and comforted her happily. "With little Ming going on this trip, I'm afraid it's a step toward a meteoric rise." Then Daolin turned to Tang Chi and advised caringly, "That's right, Chi-Ki, it's almost time to fill out your college choices. If your cousin Jing Ming goes to Magic City Psionic University, you should also try to choose a university in Magic City." Hearing this, Ching-wan smiled and chimed in, "Your father is right that way. You two can look after each other in the future." She raised a hand to the back of her neck, replying with a resigned expression, "Mom, Dad, I know." A while later, Jing Ming was settled on the train. He picked up a book to read and thought to himself, "There are still 6 hours until the station. I might as well review the psionic training method a bit among the rewards for the university entrance exam. The most important one is this psionic training method called the deep sea forging method. According to current regulations, ranks are divided based on speed and power, just like psionic abilities. Psionic training methods also have different ranks. There are 4 different levels: elementary, intermediate, advanced, and peak level. The higher the rank, the faster the training speed will be. After reading, Jing Ming closed the book and pondered deeply. What I have in my hands is an intermediate-level psionic training method. With my current spiritual power of 180, it will take half a day to memorize all the content. He looked around in a daze, his mind now filled only with knowledge about power. According to the content, a special energy is dispersed throughout the world. If I follow its method, I will be able to sense this special energy on the first day. The train quickly sped past the scenery, taking him to his dream school while he was completely immersed in his train of thought. At the same time, behind the rank on the system panel, a plus sign prompt to level up appeared. But I don't plan to level up right now. Jing Ming rested his chin on his hand, gazing at the scenery outside the window while making plans for himself, because according to the book, when an awakened becomes a psionicist, the higher the rank of the training method used to break through, the greater the benefits after the breakthrough will be. And once I get into university, I'll be able to read top-tier training methods, so of course I won't waste this opportunity on an intermediate one. After a period of travel, he finally arrived at the school. As soon as he stepped through the gates, Jing Ming was awestruck by the school's size. The school gate alone was over 100 meters wide. He looked at the vast, open space before him and exclaimed in amazement, just how grand must the school itself be? Not only that, but not far away, the school building was also just as spacious and enormous. Before he could go in and look around, Chow Yue drove up in a car to pick him up. She stopped beside him and greeted student Shu Jingming, "Welcome to enrollment." He waved back, "Friendly hello, Miss Zhang." Then she motioned for him to get in the car. "Get in. I'll take you to complete the enrollment procedures." As she drove, Chow Yue introduced the school to Jingming. "So our Magic City Psionic University is impressive, isn't it? An area of 40,000 mu, 26 square kilometers. The average area per person is 2,600 square meters. Those students who come to visit couldn't even walk through it all in one day." He glanced at the surroundings and praised with a tone full of admiration. It's true that seeing is believing. A short while later, they arrived. As soon as they stopped, Chow Yue handed him a student ID card. "Take this. This is your student ID. You just need to swipe it to get into the dormitory." Jing Ming looked up at the buildings ahead, his eyes wide and jaw dropped as he recalled university dormitories in my previous life. Even when I was studying for my PhD, I had never seen anything like this. There were 4-person rooms, single rooms, and even 3-bedroom, 1-living-room apartments for graduate and doctoral students. But what stood before him was a large, luxurious house. He was so shocked he was speechless and could only scream internally, but to use a luxury villa as a dormitory, I have truly never seen anything like it. Just then, Chow Yue looked at Jingming and introduced with a proud voice, "At our school, every student gets to live in a villa depending on their scores. The level of luxury of the villa also differs a provincial top scorer. Like you gets to live in the most luxurious type with a total area of over 800 square meters, but you don't have to worry about being lonely. The villa is shared between 2 people with 2 floors. You and your roommate each get 1 floor." As he followed her inside, he thought with satisfaction, a 2-person dormitory isn't bad. It's better than living alone. Before I transmigrated, I was an orphan, so I still prefer the feeling of a 4-person dorm room. Inside, the villa had 2 spacious floors, and the interior was simple and clean. Chow Yue and Jingming sat down on the sofa and began to talk. She spoke seriously. "All the enrollment procedures are complete next. I will tell you about the special points of attention in our school. He also replied properly. Please go ahead. Hearing that, she got straight to the point, holding up 2 fingers to explain there are mainly 2 points, the credit point system and the personal tutor system. Chow Yue meticulously explained the school's regulations to him. First is the credit point system at Magic City Psionic University. Credit points are everything. Whether it's for eating shopping equipment or even some heavenly materials and earthly treasures you need to use credit points. Buying 1 credit point is probably equivalent to 10,000 Daxia coins. She carefully informed him there are many ways to obtain credit points. One way is a fixed distribution based on the annual evaluation. For example, your post-enrollment evaluation is S rank. So this year you can receive 100 credit points after saying that she suddenly clapped her hands and called out, "Eva, come out." Following her action, a spherical robot flew out and announced student Xu Jingming, current credit points 100. Chow Yue picked up Eva and introduced with a smile, "This is the artificial intelligence that every dormitory is equipped with. Eva's main body is the school's advanced AI. The ones in the dormitories are just its sub-bodies. Although they are sub-bodies, they have still reached the level of a level 4 artificial intelligence, which is more than enough to assist with daily life." Hearing this, Jingming was endlessly shocked. A single sub-body has already reached the level of a level 4 artificial intelligence. The AI technology development on this blue star is far more advanced than in my previous life. After explaining the first point, she set Eva aside and moved on to the remaining issue. The second point of attention is our school's personal tutor system. Every student can choose a tutor. They like to become their master, inviting them to be their personal guide. Of course, this requires the tutor's consent. He pointed to himself doubtfully and asked, "A personal tutor, can a freshman like me receive one-on-one guidance from a tutor?" Chow Yue crossed her arms and affirmed confidently, "That's right. Our school's tutors are all high-level psionicists. Almost every one of them has their own unique combat techniques and secret psionic training methods that are not passed down to outsiders. You can only learn them after becoming their disciple." She held up 4 fingers and listed the information about them. Our Magic City Psionic University has a total of 4 tutors of the lightning element among them. Dean Yang Gentian of the Weaponry Academy is the master I would recommend to you first. At her words, the intelligent Eva flew up and projected the Dean's information panel. Yang Gentian, age 52, Dean of the Weaponry Academy at Magic City Psionic University. A high-rank level 7 psionicist possesses the A-rank lightning element ability, Wind and Fire True Lightning, skilled in using fist techniques, great swords, long spears, long swords, and other weapons, among which he is most proficient with the long spear. His nickname is Thunder Spear. He once fought a level 8 earth-shaking demon python in the wilderness for 3 days and 3 nights, ultimately killing it single-handedly. Jingming looked at the screen in front of him and seriously read all the data on it. Opposite him, Chow Yue looked at him and continued to introduce a few others. The information for the other 3 will also be listed. 2 of them are from the Elemental Academy, and while the other one is also from the Weaponry Academy, he primarily uses a longsword. The final choice is up to you. He assessed the Dean's abilities and finally made a confident decision. A lightning element user whose greatest strength is also the long spear, this Dean Yang is truly my best choice for a master. The next morning, brilliant sunlight shone down on the vast, tranquil, and ancient-style complex. Kan Min stood before the wooden door, silently observing the place worthy of its reputation as the mentor's residence. It was much more luxurious than the students' dorms. Suddenly, from behind him, a young man approached, leaned his hand on a stone pedestal, and asked probingly, "Are you here to become a disciple?" As if noticing something, Min Duong asked in startled surprise, "Wait a minute. You're still just an awakened special admission student." He turned to look at the man and grunted in affirmation. Hearing this, the man stepped closer and commented, in previous years, special admission students were either upper rank level 1 or mid rank. I didn't expect that this year there would be a special admission student who is just an awakened. Min Duong stood opposite Kan Min and friendly introduced himself. "I'm a second-year student at the Weaponry Academy." "No, wait, I should be a third year now, a third-year student, damn Min Duong." He calmly replied succinctly, "Hua Kan Min, a first-year freshman, I just enrolled this year." He looked at him confused and inquired, "You just enrolled and you already know about seeking a master classmate, Hua. You sure move fast. Normal freshmen usually wait until after the freshman tournament to learn about and seek a master." Catching the unfamiliar term, he repeated questioningly, "Freshman tournament." His expression immediately turned serious as he explained the information to him. "The freshman tournament is a tradition at Madu Superpower University. We usually hold it 3 or 4 days after official registration. At that time, all students and teachers from the entire university will come to watch the competition. Any freshman who performs well will be snatched up by the various academies and might even be directly accepted as a disciple by a mentor. Min Duong stepped forward and patted Kan Min's shoulder, pretending to console him kindly, of course. For a special admissions student like you, it's not impossible to seek a master early. But inwardly, he was scornfully speculating, but even for a special admissions student, wanting to become the dean's disciple right after enrolling is as difficult as winning the lottery jackpot. It's probably just a wasted trip. Seeing his open attitude, he smiled amicably and thanked him. "Thank you for the explanation, Senior." "Senior Dam, are you also here to seek Master Yang as your master?" While raising his hand to knock on the door, he affirmed and then lamented. "That's right, for over half a year. I've come here several times, but I've been turned away at the door every single time. I was about to give up, but deep down I still feel unwilling to accept it." At this moment, the wooden door suddenly opened, revealing the figure of a middle-aged man. He smiled warmly and extended a hand in welcome, you two. "Master Yang is already waiting inside. Please come in with me." Seeing this, Min Duong was shocked and utterly bewildered, speculating. Strange, the last few times I came to the door, the butler was never this enthusiastic. Moreover, Master Yang is waiting inside. Could it be that I might actually be chosen today? The two of them followed the butler's guidance and entered the house. There, a young man and an unfamiliar, stern-faced man were already waiting. When Kan Min saw this scene, he tentatively confirmed their identities. Such a powerful aura, this must be Yang Zhentian, an upper-rank level 7 superpower user who wields the Thunder Spear, the Dean of the Weaponry Academy. Zhentian looked at him with a stern expression and instructed, "You are Hua Kan Min, correct, Director Zhang Chao. Yue has already spoken to me. Follow me, I will take you to the training room." Inside the traditional antique-style room, weapon racks were neatly arranged against the wall. Zhentian brought Kan Min here and stated his request. "I have already watched the video of your martial arts college entrance exam. Your practical combat ability is indeed very strong and your spearmanship has reached a high level. But before that, I want to see your S-rank superpower, the Zixiao Divine Thunder, with my own eyes." He agreed without hesitation, yes. Then he stood at a distance from him and raised his hand, gathering power. Instantly, powerful and fierce bolts of lightning appeared around his body. Zhentian laughed heartily with delight as he observed Kan Min's superpower, so this is the S-rank Zixiao Divine Thunder. He seriously assessed the power of the lightning, becoming more and more satisfied as he watched. Although I also possess a lightning element superpower, the Feng Huo True Thunder, the fundamental gap between an A rank and an S rank simply cannot be bridged. If this kid trains hard, his future achievements might not be beneath my own. After he finished his demonstration, he spoke with affirmation. "Hua Kan Min, with the potential of your superpower becoming my disciple, is naturally not a problem." Zhentian pointed to himself and stated gravely, "But I have lived for half a lifetime. I have many friends and also many enemies. If you become my disciple, it's hard to guarantee you won't be affected. My enemies might even come after you. I wonder if you are willing." Hearing this, he turned to face him and decisively knelt on one knee. Kan Min cupped his fist and firmly accepted this disciple is willing. Inwardly, he was filled with joy and admiration. What I admire most are high-level superpower users who have emerged from bloody storms. The more enemies he has slain, the more it proves how powerful my master's combat strength is. Seeing this, Zhentian laughed joyfully and declared, Good. From this day forward, you are my 32nd disciple and also my first S-rank disciple." Then he approached and helped him up, summoning a book from his ring and handing it to him. "Stand up. This contains the Limit Superpower Training Method, a top-tier superpower training method, and the Undying Thunder God, a body-type combat skill that I created." Kan Min took the book utterly astonished. It's a body-type combat skill that enhances physical strength compared to a normal combat skill like the lightning-swift windbreak. This is much more precious. Zhentian looked at him and continued to explain in detail the superpower training method needs no introduction. It is one of the 3 top superpower training methods that only the university possesses. The main point is this body-type combat skill, the Undying Thunder God. It is the culmination of my life's work and has been recognized by the Thunder Dojo and the Raging Bear Dojo. He stated solemnly it can be ranked as S-rank. Hearing these words, Kan Min looked at him in utter shock, an S-rank combat skill. From what he understood, the ranking of combat skills was like a pyramid from low to high. Similar to the evaluation of superpowers, combat skills were also graded by rank. The higher the rank, the higher the difficulty of cultivation, but the final power of the skill would be much stronger. The more he thought, the more respect filled his eyes as he looked at Zhentian. The vast majority of level 7 grandmasters would be lucky to create an A-rank combat skill, but Master Yang not only created an S-rank combat skill, but it also involves the mysteries of the human body, being the most complex type of body-type combat skill. The martial arts talent involved in this is truly frighteningly high. Regardless of his shocked state, he calmly explained this undying thunder body is only suitable for lightning element superpower users to cultivate. It has a total of 13 layers, and each time you advance a layer, your physical strength will undergo a corresponding transformation. But to cultivate it, you must first become a superpower user. Zhen Tian carefully instructed and assured him, "Go on after you use this limit superpower training method to advance, come find me. At that time, I, your master, will personally help you rebuild the foundation for the undying thunder body." Hearing this, Kan Min immediately bowed and expressed his gratitude. "Thank you, master." Inwardly, he felt immensely relieved. Indeed, it is much better to have a mentor to guide me otherwise. If I had to rely only on myself, I don't know how many detours I would have had to take. Then he obediently left. Behind him, the master watched his retreating back and thought to himself, the undying thunder body. I have only been able to cultivate it to the 13th layer. I've been stuck and unable to break through the remaining 3 layers. If in this lifetime I cannot reach the peak of a level 9 martial saint, then you are the greatest hope to verify this cultivation method. His eyes were profound and filled with confidence because, according to my speculation, if one finally cultivates it to the final layer, that physical strength might truly achieve a transcendental state. His figure was now etched in the master's mind like the ultimate realm of the cultivation method, eternal and indestructible. A while later, Kan Min walked out of the complex's gate, turning back to wave goodbye to the butler. When he turned around, he discovered someone was still there and asked in surprised confusion, "Senior Dam, what's wrong with you?" Min Duong held his forehead and sighed dejectedly. "Don't even mention it. Did you see that male student in the hall earlier? He is Dean Yang's disciple, Senior Liu. The requirement for becoming a disciple is to defeat Senior Liu while he is using only 1/10 of his combat strength. I'm afraid that's impossible for me in this lifetime." He turned his head and said with a semblance of earnest consolation, "By the way, you failed too, right? Dean Yang's tutelage isn't that easy to get into. Do you need me to share some experience?" He shook his head and replied frankly, "No need, Senior, I've already passed." Hearing an answer that contradicted his assumption, his eyes widened in disbelief. "Damn, you really succeeded. I've never heard of a mentor of the Dean's level accepting a disciple before the freshman tournament." Min Duong shot up to his feet frantically, making wild guesses. Could he be the headmaster's son? But he doesn't really look like him. Just who in the world is he? Sometime later, in the second-floor training room of Hua Kan Min's dormitory, he was sitting cross-legged on the floor, cultivating. Wisps of white smoke swirled around Kan Min's body. Sensing them, he sighed with emotion, worthy of its reputation as a top-tier superpower training method. The amount of primal energy I can sense is much greater than with the intermediate training method. He stopped and opened his eyes confidently, calculating in his mind if he had mastered this training method, then there was no need to train step by step. He could directly use the method to advance his rank. Kan Min opened his information screen to check and formulate a plan, add points, and level up his rank. After that, he completely focused his mind on cultivating his ability. Suddenly, Kan Min's eyes shot open, his brows furrowed in discomfort, and he gritted his teeth, enduring the pain. His hands gripped his pants so tightly that the veins on his hands bulged. In an instant, a powerful gust of wind erupted from Kan Min's body, sweeping through the area. A moment later, everything calmed down. He panted wearily and whispered, "I've broken through." His rank had now changed. Awakened ability user, lower rank level 1. Kan Min propped himself up with his hands on the ground to maintain his balance while recovering his breath. He raised his hand and summoned a bolt of lightning to observe the difference. A ferocious purple lightning bolt appeared beside Kan Min, striking straight down onto the floor. He clenched his fist, feeling satisfied and impressed as expected of a top-tier ability training method. "I can feel the power and ability in my body. It must have increased by at least 4 or 5 times. If I were to encounter that level 2 bloodthirsty violent bear again, I wouldn't need a spear. I'm afraid my lightning alone could kill it." Kan Min mumbled to himself as he opened his information panel. No wonder all ability users want higher-level cultivation methods. If I had used the deep-sea ability training method to break through, my vitality and spirit would have only increased by 30 or 40 points at most on the screen. His stats were displayed in detail. Name Hua Kan Min, rank lower rank level 1 ability. Purple Firmament Divine Lightning S Strength 283 Vitality plus Spirit 289. Hertz plus Skills Spearmanship, Advanced plus Lightning Swift Windbreak, Advanced plus Ability Points 2,234, but now it increased by almost 100 points in one go. This gap is truly too vast. Afterward, as he walked to the table in the corner, he meticulously analyzed, I only spent 300 ability points to advance. I'll save the rest for now to learn combat skills later. I need to save up enough ability points. Kan Min leaned on the table with both hands staring intently at the book, and thinking, for example, this book, Indestructible Lightning Body, is even more important than the training method. It's called an S-rank combat skill, and as its power levels up, the ability points consumed are also high. I wonder how long it will take to comprehend it completely. The next day in the teacher's residential area, the atmosphere was as calm and peaceful as ever. In the room, Tran Thien's eyes widened in shock as he blurted out so fast. He stroked his beard and commented in a tone of disbelief, in my 20 years at Madu University, I have met countless geniuses. Even the most outstanding among them took a considerable amount of time to transform into true ability users. But from the time you obtained the secret manual until now, not even 24 hours have passed. Hearing this, Kan Min rubbed his head embarrassedly and explained perhaps the training method itself allows for rapid advancement for the indestructible lightning body that Master cultivates. Even the introductory foundation forging part is difficult. Seeing this, he no longer paid mind to that point and smiled as he explained the technique to him. The so-called foundation forging is to use the blood of a lightning element fierce beast as a guide, using your own lightning ability to temper your muscles and bones, and the final strength of the indestructible lightning body is related to the blood of the lightning element fierce beast initially used to forge the foundation. Tran Thien looked at him and immediately made a decision. Since you have successfully advanced, then today I will help you forge the foundation for the indestructible lightning body. He fumbled with his storage ring as he searched and explained, high-level lightning element fierce beasts are extremely rare. I had originally prepared for you the essence blood of a T-rank storm giant bear that I killed myself back then, but I heard from Truong Triu Nguyet that you can receive one portion of S-rank resources each year, so I took the liberty of combining these two things and got a portion of SS rank resources from the principal. He took out a glass bottle containing a red liquid. It was the blood of a ferocious and brutal monster, the essence blood of a level 8 tyrant dragon vicious beast. Upon hearing this, he quickly shot up to his feet, looking at the bottle, so moved that he stumbled over his words. Teacher, you and the principal actually went to such lengths for me. I will definitely repay this great kindness twofold in the future. He patted Kan's shoulder and gently reassured him, it's good that you have this sentiment. We can't delay. We must start now. A while later, the two of them arrived at the training room on the second floor. Once Kan Min was seated steadily, Tran Thien poured all the essence blood over him. Seeing him in agonizing pain, he warned sternly, endure it. The essence blood of a lightning tyrant dragon is a potent poison to low-level ability users. Extreme pain is normal. Then he raised 2 fingers and channeled his lightning ability next. I will use my wind and fire true lightning to forge the indestructible body foundation for you. How much you can absorb will depend on you. In the next second, Tran Thien pointed directly at Kan Min, guiding a bolt of lightning into his body, wind and fire true lightning. He tensed up, enduring the lightning that enveloped his body. As time passed, bright red veins gradually appeared and spread all over his back. Kan Min couldn't help but tilt his head back and cry out in pain. On the first floor, Liu Min took a cup of tea from the tray and remarked to the butler, Fuck, this is already the 5th day, isn't it? This new junior brother Hua is surprisingly able to withstand it. He looked at the teacup in his hand with admiration. There's always a higher mountain back then. I only lasted for 2 days before I couldn't take it anymore, and that was just with the essence blood of a lower rank, level 7 fierce beast. Junior brother Hua's performance is truly worthy of this essence blood from a level 8 dragon-type fierce beast. Liu Min looked up at the butler with an expectant expression, and combined with an S-rank lightning ability, I'm actually looking forward to seeing Junior Brother Hua's indestructible lightning body. Just then, a loud explosion suddenly echoed from upstairs, startling the two of them into looking up. Liu Min immediately rushed upstairs, shouting as Junior Brother's foundation been successfully forged. He stood in front of the room's door, opened it, and peeked inside to check. But in an instant, his expectant expression turned into one of shocked horror. Inside, Kan Min's entire body was enveloped in lightning, and dark red droplets of blood were evaporating from him. He stared in terror at his current state, feeling an unrelenting sense of dread. This threatening aura, like that of a top-tier fierce beast, was enough to make one tremble. Suddenly, Kan Min lunged at Liu Min like a ferocious beast. Seeing this, Tran Tien hurriedly shouted, "Kan Min, wake up!" His voice successfully stopped his actions. He snapped back to his senses, clutching his head in fear and asking Teacher what happened to me just now. Why did I have this urge to destroy everything? He calmly looked at him and explained slowly, "Just now, the essence blood of the lightning tyrant dragon probably affected your mind. The lightning tyrant dragon is known for its brutality, and coupled with your overly high absorption efficiency, it produced this kind of side effect." Perhaps fearing he would overthink it, he reassured him seriously, "But you don't need to worry as long as your emotions don't fluctuate violently. Nothing will happen as your strength increases. The side effect will gradually disappear." Hearing this, Kan Min looked at his hands and replied in a relieved tone, "That's good. I don't want to be controlled by my emotions and do something I'll regret." Seeing him looking dejected, Tran Tien smiled with satisfaction and announced the good news. "Cheer up this time, the forging was absolutely perfect. Your absorption efficiency reached as high as 98% among my 20 disciples who have cultivated the indestructible lightning body. The highest was only 92% after so many years. You little rascal have broken the record." Lu Min also approached him and congratulated him happily. "Congratulations, junior brother, on successfully forging the foundation of the indestructible lightning body. Your future martial path will be a smooth one," while Tran Tien thoughtfully introduced him. "This is your senior brother, Liu Min, a peak level 3 ability user. If you have any questions about cultivation, you can also ask him." Kan Min turned and waved a friendly greeting. "Hello, senior brother Liu," in response. He took out his phone to give him a gift. "I didn't prepare anything for you, junior brother. I'll transfer some credit points to you. Consider it a meeting gift from your senior brother." Hearing that, he took out his phone to check, and when he saw the number of points, he couldn't help but exclaim in surprise, 200 credit points, senior brother, that's too much." Inwardly, he was shocked by this extravagance just for a meeting gift. He directly gave away 2 million Great Xia coins. Beside them, Tran Tien calmly explained, "Just 200 credit points is not considered too much for your senior brother Liu. It's a senior brother's duty to look after his junior brother when you have junior brothers and sisters. You'll also have to prepare such meeting gifts." Hearing this, Kan Min agreed, "I understand." At this moment, he felt a bit tired and rubbed his brow. Then he gave his instructions. "The foundation has been successfully forged. You haven't eaten or drunk for 5 days. Go back and rest for now. Come back tomorrow morning. Follow your senior brother Liu and learn fist techniques and spear techniques together." He looked at him gratefully and expressed, "Yes, thank you, teacher." Outside, the sky was clear and blue, and sunlight illuminated the vast, luxurious dormitory area. As Kan Min entered the room, he noticed a stranger sitting on the sofa playing a game. Evidently, the white-haired young man also noticed him. He turned, raised his hand in greeting, and said, "You must be my roommate, right? Hello, my name is Lu Van Thao. It's a pleasure to meet you." He also replied amicably, "Hello, I'm Hua Kan Min." Hearing his name, Van Thao was astonished and repeatedly asked for confirmation. "Hua Kan Min, are you that provincial top scorer from Jiangnam province?" Kan Min looked confusedly at the person circling him and asking questions. "You know me?" Hearing the question, he smugly rattled on, "Of course, my nickname is Mr. Know-It-All. I know about most of the freshmen in this batch, but I didn't specifically gather information about you. However, the commotion you caused was just too big, so I've heard a thing or two. The dark horse top scorer of Jiangnam province. I can't believe I not only met the real person, but you're also my roommate." After looking his fill, Van Thao stopped, put an arm around his shoulder, and started digging for information. "Right. Are you really from Jiangtan in the poor province of Jiangnam? Also, were you really just an awakened when you took the college entrance exam, and your psionic ability doesn't look like E rank at all?" Hearing him talk non-stop, Kan Min found it quite novel and interesting, "So my new roommate is an enthusiastic chatterbox, huh?" To be honest, he quite liked it. After all, he had always hated loneliness, whether in this life or the last. At this thought, old memories flooded his mind. As a child, he was abandoned at the gate of an orphanage. In his past life, he grew up in an orphanage never adopted and never had a sense of belonging. When he was a bit older and started school, he made new friends. School was better as he had many classmates to play with. Kan Min used to have a lot of fun playing basketball with his friends, which made him feel less lonely. In college, he had his best friends playing and eating together happily. He cherished that time immensely. The happiest and most nostalgic time was college, playing games with classmates every day, then studying for his master's and doctorate. Who would have thought that after drinking a bit too much on graduation night, he would wake up in this world? Kan Min snapped out of his reminiscence. He looked at Van Thou and thought to himself, I can't believe I'm still an orphan after transmigrating here, but with a roommate like this, I won't be lonely anymore. Unaware of Kan Min's sentimental thoughts, Van Thou continued his lively performance. I'm a first-rank mid-tier with an A-rank mental psionic ability top 20 in Tusuyen province. I chose the Tactical Academy. In the future, I want to command a 1 million-strong army and kill all the ferocious beasts on Blue Star. Seeing that Van Thou had no intention of stopping, he had to helplessly intervene. All right, that's enough. I have to go to the dojo in a bit, Van Thou repeated with curiosity and quickly made a decision. Dojo, I'll go too. I've never been to the Madu University's dojo before. In a vast and imposing complex, a sign with sharp, powerful calligraphy hung on a high wall by the entrance. This was the Thunder Dojo, a branch of the Madu Psionic University. The two were now inside the dojo. As soon as they entered, Van Thou's eyes widened in amazement as he exclaimed, "Wow, it's pretty lively in here." Inside, a young man with orange hair controlled a flame hovering above his head, boasting joyfully, "I've finally mastered my C-rank Yang Extreme Blazing Flame technique." A muscular young man heard this and sneered disdainfully, "So what if you mastered it? You still can't break through my golden skin." Opposite them, a person with an exceptionally large body jeered contemptuously, "You're all trash. With my 3 times gigantification, I can slap you all onto the wall with one hit." Kan Min and Van Thou strolled casually observing the place. Above their heads, Ava thoughtfully introduced, "This is our hall's general training room. It can accommodate 300 people training simultaneously. The entire hall is cast from C-rank alloy mixed with memory metal, so there's no need to worry about psionic abilities or combat techniques causing any damage." She thoughtfully reminded him, of course, if needed, you can also choose a private training room. He turned to face her and replied, "Not for now, training here is fine." Unlike him, Van Thou couldn't stay still. He was already energetically running around, commenting, "Nice, these guys are all competing to see who's stronger. Each one is making a bigger scene than the last." Seeing this, Kan Min commented helplessly, "You're not making a small scene yourself. Are you ahead?" Van Thou was still pointing around, gathering information, a fire-type elemental. "I think that one over there is the A-rank enhancement-type werewolf top 10 in Tusuyen province." Kan Min suddenly noticed stone pillars with different numbers carved on them. He asked curiously, "Eva, what are these pillars for?" She immediately explained their function in detail. "These are our punching power challenge boards. There are 5 boards in total corresponding to rank 1 through rank 5 psionic users. Would you two like to give it a try? If you rank in the top 3,000, you can get a reward of 50 academic credits." Van Thou looked at the pillar and asked doubtfully, "You get a reward just for getting into the top 3,000. Is it that simple?" He thought smugly, this whole Madu Psionic University only has a little over 4,000 students. Then he cracked his knuckles, eager to try and accept it. "All right, let me give it a shot." Eva flew to his side and carefully instructed, "Just swipe your student card on the pillar to start the challenge. However, for the punching power challenge, you are not allowed to use psionic abilities or combat techniques." Van Thou followed her instructions and swiped his student card on the screen. Unexpectedly, a loud announcement suddenly echoed through the hall, startling them both. "Welcome Lu Van Thou, student ID number 203701255 for initiating the punching power challenge." Let's give him a round of applause. Liet Hoa crossed his arms and said with interest, "Someone's starting a power challenge." Bao Sun laughed and commented, looking at his aura, "He's only a first-rank mid-tier. Seems like a freshman." Dong Mak, with the expression of someone watching a good show, remarked, "Now this will be interesting to watch." Meanwhile, Van Thou was filled with regret. He clenched his fists and cursed inwardly, "Damn it, starting a challenge makes such a big scene with so many people watching. I can't afford to lose face." The next second, he threw a punch with all his might. A dull thud echoed through the space as his fist slammed into the pillar. The stone pillar quickly announced the result, punching power 475 kilograms. Van Thou breathed a sigh of relief and thought smugly, a very good performance. Luckily, I didn't lose face. Getting into the top 3,000 shouldn't be a problem. But then the pillar mercilessly crushed his hopes. "However, it is very unfortunate. Your punching power only ranks beyond 100,000. His eyes widened in disbelief as he cried out, "What, beyond 100,000? Doesn't the entire Madu Psionic University have just over 4,000 students?" Eva was right there to explain. This board compiles the records of all students from the past 100 years since Madu Psionic University was founded, not just the current batch. Van Thou wailed in heartbroken disbelief. "It's a scam." No wonder everyone was staring at me. They were waiting to see me make a fool of myself. Hearing the result, Liet Hoa put his hands on his hips and laughed mercilessly beyond rank. 100,000. That's hilarious. Even freshmen aren't that bad. Dongmak joined in with contemptuous ridicule. Look at this kid. His face is as red as a baboon's ass. He's definitely a freshman. Seeing this, Can Min patted Van Thao on the shoulder to console him. Don't mind them. You're a mental type. Physical punching power isn't your strong suit. Van Thao turned to him, forced a smile, and suggested thanks for the comfort. Do you want to try the challenge? You'll definitely be stronger than me. He agreed without hesitation. Sure, I wanted to test it out anyway. Hearing this, Van Thao raised a fist to encourage him. Go for it. The honor of our dorm room rests on you now. The announcement once again rang in everyone's ears. Welcome Hoa Can Min, student ID number 203701204 for initiating the punching power challenge. Let's give him a round of applause. A young man judged wearily another newcomer is trying the challenge. Liet Hoa once again mocked contemptuously. This one's even weaker, just a first-rank low tier. Dongma criticized disdainfully a first-rank low tier. It's hard to say if his punch will even reach 400 kilograms. Suddenly, he hesitated and spoke up. Wait a minute. That name sounds really familiar. Can Min recalled his current status panel and silently calculated advancing to a rank 1 psionic user plus the gains from 5 days and 5 nights of basic physical conditioning. He clenched his fist, a sense of anticipation building within him. Just what level has my punching power reached? This one punch will reveal the answer. Then Can Min raised his hand, gathering power for the punch. He swiftly threw a powerful and mighty punch straight into the stone pillar before him.